I can't hear it, Bab.
Okay, right. We are live, guys. Um, yeah. Let me see. Wagwan. We got two eyes on here already, and Vincenzo. What's good, man? What's good? And Kit Kate Bar.
What's good?
What up, guys? What up? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, to the locker room where we're here to discuss Blue Lock shenanigans. This week we've had no chapter of Blue Lock,
Yeah, Nagi.
but yep, but we got the episode of Nagi chapter, which was a nice, good chapter for us to feast on. So we've got some stuff to speak about. Oh, we've got Emerald Ace in here and OP. What's good, guys? Welcome, welcome. But yeah, we got the episode of Nagi chapter, which was good. Hopefully, all of you have seen it. And I'm here with Lexio and Suki right now, and Dedu should be joining us later once he can get his setup fixed. But what's good, Abby? Welcome, welcome. What's good, Menoman? Menoman? That's a new one. Menoman, welcome, bro. Welcome. Um, Emerald Ace, welcome as always. And yeah, man, it's been good. Like, just start off with how are you guys? Suki, what's good? You look like you're at school right now.
I'm always at school when it comes to this, but I'm staying blessed. God is doing good for me, so can't complain.
Love that. Love that. And Lexio, how are you, my bro?
I'm ill. I'm eating, and I'm alive.
You're ill. Oh, bro. Hopefully you get better soon. But at least you're alive, innit? At least you're alive.
WMODs, you're our goat.
But yeah, me, I'm over the moon, people. I'm over the moon
I
because
don't
if
have any class, Essential. I just an abandoned classroom so I can stream.
is skipping as we say here in England, is truancing. Oh, did you?
We don't say that. You're just showing you're an old man.
No, bro, we say that.
Fluency? What the heck is that? It's some UK term?
Yeah, it's truancing, bro. It basically means skipping, you know.
No one in England says
I've
that.
never heard
Bro,
anyone
what
in
do you
English say
mean no
that.
one in England says that? It's literally an English thing. But oh,
Yeah, truanting is like children who are regularly absent from school, but no one uses the term.
Daddy's mic's firing up.
I thought that was mine for a second.
No, it's Daddy's. Right. Just until you get it sorted, I'll just put you in here. But but yeah, I'm over the moon, guys. And for those of you who don't know, um, originally I'm from London, and my team is the Arsenal, the best team in the world, who currently, who today beat Real de Madrid 3-0.
Two
That's
UCLs for
three,
sure.
guys, not one, not two, yeah, well, yeah, three. 3-0, yeah, to the Arsenal over here in London. So yeah, man, I'm buzzing. I'm happy. Arsenal gonna win the Champions League. You know, we've got Super Mick
Raito,
out, and the best
never
team in the
expected
world.
it
We
to be
got
possible.
Super Bukayo Saka, Declan Rice.
Raito,
You know, but
Raito, I
yeah,
need to
man,
establish something.
it's it's a
You
good.
just stated, you just stated that Arsenal beat Arsenal 3-0.
Oh, did I? Oh, I meant we
Yeah.
beat Real de Madrid. We beat
¿Qué
Real de...
pasa, Pisca Catalonia? I love that Vicencio. I
we
love my
beat
football friends.
we beat Mbappe, we beat Vinicius, we beat Jude, we beat Camavinga, we beat who else was there? Rudiger,
Bellingham.
we beat Courtois,
You beat my boy
Asensio,
Camavinga.
all them guys, all of them, they held smoke, all of them. But yeah, man, it's a good time to be an Arsenal fan. Um, if you guys don't have a team to follow here in England in the Premier
Paige,
League,
you're following Chelsea.
make
My
sure
right
you
team, I'm
follow
not
Arsenal.
following anyone
Chelsea
else.
are some dead bum team,
Absolutely
Sunday
not.
league team. They don't even have a shirt sponsor. Make sure you're following
Yo,
Arsenal.
ignore both of them. It's Manchester United all the way.
What, at 13th, 14th place in the league? Nah,
Yo,
thanks.
watch
Trust
them
me,
somehow win the
I
Europa
don't,
League just so they can reach Champions League, bro. I'll be
trust
dead.
me,
Bro, if
I
the
don't even watch football, but
if
Manchester United because gotta
Yeah,
represent
shit.
Manchester.
they
Well, I
are
shouldn't be
bad,
dissing the guy.
Manchester United are bad. But yeah, man, it's a
No.
good day. But today we're going to talk some episode of Nagi, and then we're going to do a Blue Lock 11.
Whose
We're gonna
mic is this?
it's Daddy who's trying to fire his mic up. We're gonna do a Blue Lock 11, and then and yeah, man, we go from there. So if you guys got any questions that you'd like to ask us through the chat, just put it down, and yeah, we're gonna get going. So, episode of Nagi, what did we see? This
We
is
saw some
episode,
random character designs today.
yeah, bro. This is episode of Nagi, chapter 33, flapping, and we saw Rayo's team first of all. Rayo, after being picked up by Igaguri and
Just
Shido's team, we saw them play their first match. Um, Seems like they
We
washed that
also
team.
saw why Sakura never did anything.
Oh, yeah, you know the guy's name, Sakura. Yeah, he uh he got washed by Shido. They won that game 5-2. So maybe Sakura scored both their goals. You never know. Maybe that's why he's.
They made Sakura look like just as much of a fodder as the rest of the team.
It's because he is though. Really,
what do you want him to do against Shido?
he is.
I
But
He is.
at
mean,
the same time, if they really wanted
Corona,
him to be relevant, they would have given.
Corona's already done stuff.
Nah.
He got
Oh.
called scary.
Zedo, are you taking a piss right now or a shower? What's going on, brother?
So Kurubi says my Blue Lock 11 is objectively correct. Not gonna lie.
Tell
Put
us
it
then.
down in the chat. Then let's see. Put it down in the chat. Let us
I swear to
see.
God, if I see Nico on that thing, I'm done. I'm done. If I see Nico on that thing,
But yeah, like we got
What
to
did you just
see.
say, Suki?
if I see Nico in starting 11 over Ryu, if all three defenders are there, it's fine. But if he's starting over Ryu, that's a problem.
Oh no, I was more thinking Nico in the starting CDM position over Karasu more than
Yeah,
Archer.
you guys place Nico in defense still. I don't place him in defense no more, bro.
I place him in CDM.
Yeah, same.
I
He's a
I
midfielder.
guarantee two spots are going
You
to
guys
be
should put
covered.
Nico over Karasu. Really?
I'm not putting him over
No,
Karasu,
not
but
right now.
he's in
But
a
I'm just saying
midfield.
I'm
Not
playing Nico as
not a
the sub for
starter.
Karasu.
Not a starter right now.
Nico over Raichi.
Yeah. I think people are overestimating Raichi because Isagi literally told him what to do. That's the reason he did so.
Yeah, no, you've got to remember. I honestly think by the actual World Cup, um, I think in the actual World Cup, Nico will start over Karasu. But in U20 now.
Yeah, if you post it
Why
there,
is
we
he
should be able
dropping
to
on the
see it.
team, bro?
Neo Egoist Geeks. What server is that?
It's the one with
That's my server. What are you talking about?
Assassin,
What server is
Suki.
that?
It's your server, Suki?
Me, Raven Geeks Arrow. That's our server.
I'm not in it.
1,000 members. Let me send invite.
Yeah, so if you put it on there, we should be able to see it.
I'm not in it. I'm probably not in it because I'm gonna get abused out of it by some of the community.
Sky Dragon.
Rerun it now.
Nah, you shouldn't. Sky Dragon
Raito, are
rewrite
you there?
NEL.
Raito, are you on
Skydragon,
this server?
all I'm gonna say is my return is this week. There is a new series coming.
What if Nico was in Isagi's second
Daddy,
selection?
Daddy, you should try it on your phone. Maybe on your phone it'll work a little bit better. But yeah, so we got to see Rail's team progress to the 4v4. We also got to see Nagi's team progress to the World 5 match, where we saw Luna score a goal. We saw what's his name, Pablo, spot in Metavision. We saw Barrow completely get made to look like a
Son.
yeah, completely
Someone's
sun,
son.
bro. Completely, yeah. It's not a good look for Barrow still, and I still think Loki is an arrogant prick. I think he's trying to put on that nice guy act, but I think he's arrogant. We saw Chigiri, his knees hurting. Ooh. And then we saw Kurona's team. Yeah, Kurona's team made me laugh, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Kurona's team, bro, like, why? They're all scrubs. Like, they're all
Why
white.
is Choji in the BLUELOCK facility?
The Choji 1010. Who else? Bloody hell, man. Yeah, Kurona's team. Yeah, it's not the best, but we got some Corona glazing, which was nice. We got to see a bit more of Corona, my boy. I love that guy. Um, and yeah, we saw Nagi trying to find, his ego still on the search. Oh, Dedu, I can hear you a little bit, but it's very light.
Vague.
Dedu, are you speaking?
So I don't know if this guy's name is Raggy on our Discord, but he has his starting lineup. His
Okay.
goalkeeper is Gagamaru. His two center backs are Ryu and IQ.
Mhm.
His right back is Otoya. His
Mhm.
left back is Chigiri. CDM is Karasu. He says depending on if Sai plays, he will be center mid, and if he doesn't, he already plays.
Okay.
Attacking midfielder would be Bachira and Rayo, with the two center forwards as Rin and Isagi.
Okay. Okay. All right. Cool. Let me take a look as well because it's not a bad team. Where is
The
it?
defensive line is very good. It's just the offensive line I'm trying to be nitpicky with right now.
Daddy, we can hear.
Your grandma speaking in the background,
No,
but
it's an echo. It's actually us talking. It's an echo. But
it's
where are you?
us.
Oh, say something.
Is he a YouTuber by any chance? I forgot.
Yeah, yeah. Yes.
He has the voice of a YouTuber,
Mhm.
whatever the hell that means.
Daddy, can you hear us? Because we can hear your background. Don't know if it might just be away for now. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We can hear you. We can hear you. Ah, right.
I'm dead.
You can't hear us on this? Oh, man. I think you can't hear us on this. Try messing with your settings. Let me add. Wow. Okay. Have you got
Kirby's really understands the Blue Lock original lineup.
your phone? Your phone. Try it on your phone maybe. I'm gonna add you up on here. Maybe that's gonna fix it. One sec.
Guys, I gotta go. I am not well enough for this.
Ah, okay, okay. Lex,
See you
you off
guys.
yet?
Yeah, I'm not well
Na
enough
na
for a
na
stream.
na 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 na.
Bless.
Hey, goodbye.
Let me get Daddy up here. Hopefully, can you hear us now, Daddy?
Oh, I sound like a freaking child on the TV. What the heck?
Nah, you don't. You sound fine. Cool.
No.
Oh, wow. All right. Yeah. Try it on your laptop maybe, but on your phone we can hear you nicely. It's just for some reason we can't. Um, for some reason you can't.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Where did Karubi put that starting lineup again?
Blue Lock debating in our Neo Icarus Geeks. But it's also in the no, he didn't put it in the comment section. He only put the taggers.
You said Blue Lock debate.
Yeah, it's a channel we have. But I feel like Pablo using Metavision. I think they're trying to show that he was in the Isagi match, but we couldn't.
Yeah.
They didn't have a design for it yet.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
I
that's
reckon they
exactly what
give
it
it to
is.
Sai in the U20 match. Like we will actually see Sai using Metavision eyes.
Yeah.
Because now, like, I don't think. I mean, they did have it, but like, they never really were like using it.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. They've always had it. Like Isagi said, he said Sai was probably using it during the U20 match. Um,
And the
like you said,
officials, what's it called?
it's probably just that they didn't have a way
They
to
didn't
show the
draw
design.
it yet. They didn't draw the design yet.
Yeah. 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 It's you know the same thing happened in.
That's something.
Can you hear us now?
Too echoey for my own good.
Can you hear us? Why have you gone silent though? I can see like your mic. Oh yeah, sorry. That was me. Speak again. Yes.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. One sec. Let me get you up on the stage.
He has now entered the starting lineup.
Where are ya? Where are ya? Okay. Yeah, I can't see that I can't see it.
But at the same time, like we had the Metavision design, so it makes sense.
Oh,
I thought I was echoing.
yeah, it's just slight echo. Dedu,
Yeah?
do you know on the if you hit the cogwheel and then you go on
Cogwheel.
audio,
Uh-huh.
is echo cancellation on right now?
Uh, echo cancellation is on.
Okay. Suki, speak.
Yo,
Yeah, that's good. That's good. All right. Yeah. Yeah. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say like we had it in One Piece. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but in One Piece where in there was a war arc, and that was pre-time skip. So in the war, we was told that people were using haki, which is like the special powers.
Yeah, I know
One
about it. I
Piece.
haven't watched it though.
So we was told that people was using haki, but we didn't see it. It wasn't visually shown. It was only after the time skip, and after the Straw Hats actually learned what haki is, and all that stuff, that we could actually see it. We could actually see people using it and stuff. So I'm guessing it's a similar thing with the metavision and stuff like that. I
Yeah,
actually
it is.
thought that Pablo was gonna whip out the that passing
The
vision
Charles one,
that
yeah.
Charles had.
I
I
called
thought,
the I forgot the name what I gave it. I'll talk about it later.
yeah, I thought that's what it was, bro. I got excited, but then as someone pointed out, yeah, no, that's just your regular metavision. Okay, Lexio's in the chat. Lexio's in the chat.
Dedu, what did you think about this chapter if you've read it?
Huh?
What did you think about the chapter?
Episode Nagi.
Yes.
I actually really liked it personally.
Yeah, it was a good one, isn't it?
Yes. Hold on.
If you're hearing like crying, that's my little one. He doesn't want to
Well, I
sleep.
mainly liked it because it kind of showed how, for the little while that they were apart, Reo and Nagi seemed to be kind of getting a gauge for themselves and finding their own way to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
So I did like the show of independence that it gave the characters, something that wasn't shown during any else, and they both decided to cooperate again.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's see that this is the thing, like both of them were able to make it through without each other, but then ultimately just went back to each other. And I feel like
Yeah.
it's got something to do with some advice that Isagi gave to Reo. Why do I feel like Isagi said something to Reo at that time?
And
I'm
before
pretty sure it
their
was just like
reunion?
telling him to you don't have to rely on Nagi. You can do it by yourself, and if you do that, then you'll become your own player, and you'll have your own ego which you can use.
Yeah, yeah. But then did he know that Nagi was already going to England at that time? I don't know. I don't
No,
know.
Rayo said he was going to go to Munchen first, and then
Ah,
Nagi's like, which one?
ah,
Rayo's like,
okay.
if it smells like money, I'm gonna go there.
He decided to go to Bastard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like they do so well, like separate, and then when they come together, they wonder why it's not working. I'm like if you listen to my review, I'm like, bro, like how many times do they have to go through the same thing over and over again before they realize it's not working? Like Rayo is always like he always comes up like he's the guy with the plan, and I love Rayo, but he always like tries to make out like he's the guy with the plan, but his plan's always the same thing over and over again. He
Yeah.
needs experience to actually be the player that he's supposed to be, because he's a sick player, bro. His skill, his copying skill, bro. His copying ability. That's a crazily stacked ability. If
For
he gains
someone who's
experience,
only
bro,
been
he'll
playing
be really good.
for 6 months, he's really good,
I mean,
honestly.
Reo even showed a bit of self-awareness in the new chapter. He talks about that all of the goals that they'd created so far was born through Nagi's talent and genius.
Yeah, yeah. Vincenzo, I've got a kid, bro. I've got a little one. He's 8 or 9 months now. He's 8 or 9 months old now. Um, yeah, bro, like some little cutie. But yeah, yeah. So we said we was gonna do up our starting 11s.
How are we gonna
Yeah.
do that?
So,
Yeah,
see,
it curious me too.
I wanted to do the site. You do it on the site, but I don't know how to do it on my iPad. That's the only issue. I've got no way
I
of.
suppose you can have it there as a record, and we can just like name it from there.
Okay.
Maybe we could use the server as a form of visual representation, and someone can use a screen record to display it.
Yeah, that's my only issue is I don't know how to do the screen record on the iPad at the same time. Yeah, so it says here my device doesn't support sharing screen. Yeah, it's because
So,
I'm on iPad in it, guys. Like I'm.
what app do you want us to use, and I can just basically be the representative?
It was
Is it Chosen 11?
No, it's
What website?
the
called
website.
Build Your Lineup.
Oh, Build Your Lineup. I know that one. It's a pain to use though. I use Chosen 11 because I can move my finger on any way I want to.
Yeah, do that then. Use that.
Wait, can I move it around? Oh no, I can move this one around too. It's fine. It's fine. Let me share screen now.
Nice one. Nice one. Nice one. Oh, okay. Kirubi sent me his. Boom.
So who's making their lineup first? Striped green. I'll give you Arsenal color since it's right. So
Nah,
no,
we can make it blue, bro. It's blue lock. Cause we can make it blue. It's all good.
black.
Alright. Like, let me
Black don't
see it.
crack. Yes, sir. So goalkeeper, obviously Gagama. If you're not, you're on crack or something.
Nah, bro. Not Gagamaru. Fam. Put Fukaku in there, bro.
Absolutely not, bro. Wait, what is your formation anyway? I forgot.
um. mm, Are we doing it as a collective or just the one I'd go with?
What do you want to do,
Yes.
Debu?
Well, I guess either could work.
Hmm.
Maybe we could talk about our own teams, and then we can use that to like negotiate like a common
Yeah.
acceptance, so we could build an 11 from that.
Yeah. What
So
That
what
should
do
we
way,
go with a
it
4-5-1?
gives
I
us
need
all
a
an
formation
opportunity to
for it.
explain why we put each player where.
okay.
Should we
Right.
do like a 4-5-1?
Ye- what does that look like on the screen?
Um, we would have
'Cause-
two offensive midfielders. We would have one solo striker. We would have two wingers. Let me bring the offensive midfielders down. We would have two wingers. We would have one CDM. I've entirely messed this up. There you go.
yeah. I see what I would do personally. My formation would have been um. Yeah, no, actually one up front because I was thinking two up front, but
Yeah, I was thinking the same. I was going to go for a 4-4-2 diamond shape.
yeah.
Ooh.
So
I have something similar to that. I think it's a 4-1-1-2-4. No, 2-2.
so put if you drag the 10
Yeah.
closer to the midfield, right? Or like
Yeah.
just move the whole midfield down a little bit, like
Okay.
in that same place, yeah, in the same positions, but just down a little bit, and the 10 as well. Move the 10 down.
Oh, so
Then
he's gonna be like a Olivier Giroud type of
yeah,
attack.
and then you put the wingers closer to the top, so then they'll be the strikers.
Yeah,
Like
kind
put
of
them
more
in,
central.
put them in central, yeah, inside,
Put them kind of on the same line
yeah,
as the wide centre mids.
yeah. So like that.
Yeah,
Interesting.
So now the
4-1.
wing,
That's the formation I was going with.
yeah, that's perfect. That in my opinion, because then the fullbacks they'll be playing
Higher.
both offensive and defensive.
Okay, this is
Mhm.
interesting.
Yeah, this is BLUELOCK, bro. Remember, this is BLUELOCK.
Yeah, I kind of also use this formation because it's a very versatile in terms of a tactical approach as well.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, that'll probably be explained more as we go through the positions themselves.
Okay, I'm having a look at Kurubi's team right now. He's got Rin Isagi front two. He's got Rayo Bachira as wingers, and he's got two in the midfield. Either Sai or Hiyori, Karasu in the DM. Okay. Then he's got Chigiri left back, Otoya right back, Aryu and IQ centre backs, and we know Gagamaru's in net. Okay, yeah, nice. That's a solid team though.
It
That's a
really
solid team.
is.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so where we building from? So first centre back,
Defense up, maybe?
yeah. IQ's definitely starting
Yeah,
centre back, right?
Mhm.
definitely. No doubts there for me.
Now next centre back. Right. So are we should I say who I would have put there personally?
Yeah, we can just
Yeah.
rotate each of our choices.
I'll save. I think I can save lineups. I don't know. Can I? I have to create an account. I'll do screenshots and then send it in the personal chat or something. I don't know.
All right, cool. Now this is a bit left field, right? But I personally would have the edge lord Kunigami playing.
I actually have Kunagami playing center back too for the World.
Really?
He's gonna be like a Lorenzo man marker.
Yes. Good.
I
Great
actually
minds think
don't.
alike.
Ooh.
But yeah, I would have Kunigami playing center back. Obviously my left back would be Chigiri. Ooh, wait, actually,
You want Yukimiya?
Yukimiya. It's Yukimiya. No, it's Chigiri. Sorry, it's
I
Chigiri.
was
Yukimiya will
about
go
to
where
talk
7 is.
massive shade to you after this. I'm like,
Yeah,
We're not discussing centre backs anymore.
Oh, I thought we was doing what we would have, and then we'll do like a collective one.
I thought we were going to rotate between each of our choices. Like, you would choose Kunagami, somebody else would choose Ari, Iku, etc. And then we kind of have a discussion about it. So I was
Okay.
going to say my two centre backs would be IQ and Ari.
I have the same, honestly. I have Kunagami as a backup center back for IQ.
I have him as a backup CDM personally.
It's hard because Karasu and Raichi play. Not really Raichi, but like Karasu, Nico, they both play that role too. So it's like getting him in a position where he can get more minutes, and I don't think there's a lot of center backs to choose from.
Yeah. Let me try. I'm gonna try and change the way this looks here. How can I make this one the main one? Wait. Boom. Guys, I'm learning this thing, and
So who do you reckon we have for right back? Wait, no. Let's talk about left back. Does everyone have Chigiri?
Me.
Because I have Chigiri if we're doing this lineup, yeah.
Yeah, I've got Chiguri left back.
Hey, we can move to right back. Personally, I'd have put Otoya.
I've got Toya on the right.
We're on the right back now.
Yeah, Toya.
What about you, Raito? Taking pretty good right now.
right back. Kurona Ranze.
Interesting. All right.
So
But I get why you'd pick Otoya.
I
He's
have
redeemed.
2 reasons. He can still score goals, and he doesn't run out of stamina.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But we
Corona's
haven't seen
got
him play with a Metavision user yet, so that's hard to say.
Yeah, I mean he's redeemed himself for me in the last match. I didn't rate him before that, if I'm to be honest. But the goal he scored against Munchen, I really liked it.
Just scoring on Chris Prince.
Yeah, bro. And I love Chris Prince. I rate Chris Prince, but yeah, he's that goal.
Striker still.
Yeah, that goal was the one. Still, it was the one. But yeah, I I would be happy with Otoya being there. Uh, I would have Kurona because I love Kurona and I love the link up with Isagi, but Otoya is no problem there.
See, I'd have Corona as a sub, personally.
Same. I have him as a sub. Yeah.
Okay.
Because starting
Plus his
Otoya,
stamina.
like, on average, starting players that were subbed off play an average of about 60 to 65 minutes on the field.
Yeah.
With that, you have Corona as a sub playing less minutes, which means his stamina issues become less of a prevalent issue.
Yeah.
Whereas you've got the more stamina reliant Otoya starting and playing more minutes. Furthermore, both Otoya's weapon is very good for both offense and defense as well. Whereas we
Otoya played
haven't
at
seen
65 minutes, right?
we haven't seen many defensive feats from Corona, and as shown from his change in NEL stats, his defense has actually gotten worse ever since the Munchen game. So
Yeah.
it could be having him as a sole player on the right, where he's responsible for defending the right flank as well as attacking it, either less reliable option, whereas someone like Otoya wouldn't be,
Okay.
because he has a weapon which can assist on defense. Like his ninja star can help him with interceptions and evading Metavision users if it can get that good as well, so he can stop link up play very easily.
Yeah, and he can sneak up on people to steal the ball. Yeah. Yeah, no, it makes sense. Perfect sense.
CDM. We're doing Raito. We're gonna.
So are we not changing Kurona to Otoya then?
Oh, have you agreed on Otoya?
Yeah.
Okay.
Negotiation skills are legendary.
Good. I had to put in so much work. For me personally, I would have put in Karasu here. Karasuno. I love Karasuno, my boys.
Listen, that's my guy, so I can't complain with that.
What about you, Dedu?
I've got Nico CDM.
Ooh, Sneeko CDM. I can't have a short man protecting my back line. That's a problem, you know.
No, it'd be great in CDM though. Like
He
CDM,
would as a sub for me.
you don't have to be that big in the CDM.
That's why I've got Aiku and Aryu each as centre backs, because they're both the tallest that we've got.
Yeah.
Furthermore, the cam, which is where most CDMs would mark, also aren't typically the tallest. Therefore, Nico's height issue becomes less of an issue since his opponent wouldn't be as tall typically as well.
Yep. And the Metavision really helps.
Yeah. Also, him being a CDM also serves a tactical approach, because when you attack, what you can do is that you can have Nico slot in between Aiku and Aru, therefore creating a back three. Then you can use the two wide centre mids and the diamond to then drop back and create a 3-2 structure, which would be very good for build-up possession. Furthermore, it also allows the wing backs to play more offensively since there's more defensive structure behind them. This can allow us to make better use of their offensive traits. In my formation, I've got Chigiri and Otoya, both with very good offensive feats. Therefore, having Nico cover them on defense, they can utilize and facilitate them more on offense, which also improves their individual ability to create goals, as well as increasing the unpredictability and versatility of the overall offense as well.
Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense, because the thing that Nico gives you that Karasu doesn't is he's got that he's played centre back, so he's more of a defensive option. But Karasu is more, for me, is more of a proactive, ball winner. See, in the PXG versus Bastard match, Karasu was always the first to lose balls and second balls. And I think, like, if you got a player like that, you can obviously it's a great trait to restart attacks if they break down higher up the pitch. But to be fair, Karasu would do good in any midfield position, barring maybe the attacking mid.
Yeah, that's why I've got him as one of the wide centre mids in the diamond.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like for
Okay.
me, Karasu does a lot of the things that I would see in a CDM. He protects the back line very well. Like he always knows how to stall for players, like especially with Sai, even though Arrow hates him for that. It's like if Karasu rushes in, he's gonna get absolutely slaughtered by Sai. So why just disrupt his view? He's also good at winning the ball. He has shown that against Otoya and Ness on separate
Mm-hmm.
occasions. He has very good communication skills, something I wish Nico would have shown more of because when you're trying to lead that nine, you're gonna need that talking interpretation skills.
Yep.
Cars, I don't know how to talk about Nico's intelligence because we don't really get a lot of Nico screen time compared to Karasu, honestly. But yeah, Karasu's tactical
No, Nico's clever. He's clever. He's clever.
yeah, Nico's very clever in that sense, but in terms of like understanding the sport itself, like
Mm-hmm.
Nico just has very good spatial awareness.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
But
Karasu
rem-
seems like he's actually smart outside of football.
oh yeah. But
Yeah.
remember, Nico is young, so I think the reason why he's written as young is so that he as he grows older, gets more experience, he gets better.
Yeah.
I
Right.
think that's him and Nana says arc. They get better with growth with as they
They
get
will get
older.
better for sure. Us,
Yeah,
of
as they
course.
mature.
Yeah. But for now,
Yeah.
I think Karasu is just a better CDM. He also has that physical strength too, where he has very good ball possession technique,
Yes.
especially with
Let's not
yeah,
forget.
especially if you want to get the ball up, get loose passes, and like he even stopped the twin gun volley. Thank you, OP. But yeah, his passing and nah, I'm not even going to talk about passing because both of them are pretty on pair. But like, he's not gonna help the defense as much as Nico. I'll give Nico that. But like in terms of like helping the offensive plays, I think Karasu is just more inclined for that role. But I do really see why
That's why.
Dedu sees Nico as it because Karasu's more of a CDM who can transition into attack. Meanwhile, Nico's more of a CDM who would actually play the CDM role for the defensive position. So I can really
Yeah.
see both ends of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's a centre mid because of Karasu's skill in 1v1. In terms of ball control, he's got some of the best feats, and they're usually shown when he is in a one-on-one or two-on-one situation. It makes him great for ball progression, and also having him as a left centre mid, which is what I've got, it also have him closer to Chigiri to then utilise their chemical reaction with each other to help build up the play as well. But he also shows, obviously, the physical strength, as you said, which will also help him in the middle where there's more robust and fast central midfield play. So breaking it down requires him to have that level of physique and combativeness, which Nico hasn't really displayed as much unless he's usually intercepting a pass, which he displayed in the U20 match in his 1v1 against Shido.
Yeah.
The best
Furthermore,
part
he
is he
also
isn't even that physical strong. He's not even that good at physicality. He just knows how to handle people with that.
yeah, it doesn't make him bad though. His handling
It's
technique is
good.
really
It's
solid.
very good. But we're talking as if Karasu's
It,
insanely physical strong. I have to remind
But
ourselves.
his technique makes it so that like he
Yeah,
doesn't.
that's why I said he's very good at handling it, but he's not himself physically strong. I had to correct myself because I talked about one of the roles for a CDM is to be physically strong. Karasu doesn't have that. He just knows how to handle it.
Mhm.
I
it,
need to correct myself.
strength isn't all about having bigger muscles or being able to barge into somebody better. It's how
Yeah,
you
for sure.
utilize your strength which makes you strong.
Yeah, obviously. Karasu could be a very good jiu-jitsu person in the next 10 years, just like Snuffy. I really have him as the next Mark Snuffy, if you
Okay.
know.
Okay. That's high, bro. Mark Snuffy, the best player in the world.
Because Karasu has aerial abilities like his crow headers, and Snuffy is very good at keeping the ball away from opponents, and he always has a zonal attack for anyone. But let's move on. We all agree now that center mids though. We have a bunch of options for center mids in that cam position. Wait, are we doing this lineup of Sai and Nagi or no? Just none of them.
I was going off the basis that neither of them were.
Okay, good, because I'm not doing that either. None of them should be in this U20. I was just making sure.
Mm. Yeah, my other centre mid is Hiyori.
So you have Karasu and Hiyori.
I do.
Oh my god, this thing keeps on saying Karasuno, bro. I did so much research on that Haikyuu video, bro. And Hiyori. I'm trying to think. I'm really gonna talk about it after the whole lineup is done, but for now, I'm fine with this.
Yeah. Do I need to
Yeah.
go into another in-depth, nerdy explanation about it, or is that
Yeah,
unnecessary?
go on, do it.
Okay, so again, it's also more of a tactical thing because Hiyori has displayed great feats both offensively and defensively, similar to Karasu. And what this means is that he is exceptional in ball play, in transition, and ball recovery. He's essentially got every aspect needed for a central midfielder. And the main thing I'm going to guess people are going to be asking is how I've not got Rayo in the starting lineup so far in a centre mid.
Yeah.
And that's because I don't see him as reliable enough yet. Because the NEL was the NEL's just ended, and Rayo was just lost Nagi. So at the moment, there is the possibility of a big Rayo crash out.
Crash out, bro. I'm praying on it.
Now, obviously, it might not happen, but at the moment, there is definitely a chance that it will. So, acting under that assumption, I'm not going to have him in the starting lineup because he may not have the right mentality to be able to consistently start matches and perform to the expected level needed for the U20 World Cup. But in terms of what I want from this central midfielder in this system, he definitely ticks all the boxes. So if Rayo ends up not being a total crash out and actually evolves from this, he can definitely challenge and take that starting position for his own.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I've got the more reliable option at the moment.
Nice. Yeah, bro, for me, Rayo has to be on the sorry, not Rayo. Hiyori has to be on the starting lineup. The guys in the chat, they're saying, you know, why is Rayo not in and stuff. And at the moment, it's my reason for not putting Rayo in there just yet isn't because of the crash out or anything like that. It's simply because he doesn't have that much experience playing football. So Hiyori is someone who was born and bred to play football. He's been playing football from young to up until this point. He hasn't always liked it. He hasn't always enjoyed it, but
Talk
he's
about
been
Hiyori.
playing. Now, I would always pick Hiyori to start over a Rayo simply because of that experience. That experience is very valuable. On top of that,
Yes.
you need to have someone with that passing range that Hiyori brings and that game IQ that Hiyori brings, because having a Hiyori in the midfield is like having an Isagi in the midfield. And we all know how good Isagi is in the midfield, despite his his lack of physique and physical prowess. And Hiyori, I don't how tall is Hiyori? I think
6 foot.
he's like 6 foot, innit? Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like 6 foot. So he's like a better built Isagi in the midfield.
Yeah. In the midfield, he would operate better than Isagi, which is
Yeah.
just great for
He's
us.
6 foot.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I for now I say Rayo would have to learn his trade still.
Yes,
Develop
I
his
agree.
own.
I agree.
Oh, hello.
What are we talking about? Sorry, I have no idea what's going on.
So right now we're building our Japan 11.
Oh, okay. Let me peep this.
It's constructive, so it's like everyone's trying to like fight each other for control. It's very messy, bro. It's very messy.
This is very, very
Messy. Because
Can I ask
honestly,
what's the argument for Kunigami? Seriously.
So
I have
Those
Arios.
two
Wait,
ideas.
this
Who
is
had
starting.
Kunigami
Like,
again?
are you saying like these are the most likely like starting like 11 lineup?
No, we're
Like,
just
no,
fucking
this is
what
around.
we'd play.
this is who we would put in.
Like, if we were ego in this situation, what team would we line up with?
So I chose Kunigami because I think physically he's got it all to be a centre back, and then also with his man marking prowess that he's been able to show, I think he'd be a great asset at the back. His height, his build, his man marking, and on top of that, he's increased his speed from when he first got into Blue Lock. All that stuff, yes, it's good offensive, but I think he'd be better served as a centre back or CDM. But I didn't want to put him in CDM.
Okay. You know what would be interesting for you guys after this lineup?
Mm-hmm.
Build one, because here's the thing: the formations are never going to be set, right? They're never going to be set. So why don't you build 2 more formations after this? A hyper offensive formation and a hyper defensive formation.
Okay.
The Jose Mourinho of not Jose
Like if
Mourinho
they needed to
of another
play,
bit of a
if
defensive
they wanted to play like Ubers and they're like builds a defensive team, build that. If you wanted to play something hyper offensive, like you gotta score 11
Can
goals
anyone hear
in
me?
30 minutes. Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Like I'm talking in an empty room right now.
Ah, we can hear you, bro. Right, so we're gonna carry on with this one, and then we're gonna do the hyper attacking, and then hyper.
I'll let y'all finish this one. I'll just be here existing. I'm playing Pixelmon, so I'm enjoying life.
So who do you guys have as the cam? Because honestly, with this lineup, I really want to put Bachira because I'm not putting Bachira at striker.
No, Bachira can't go strike. He's got to go cam if he's gonna go.
Yeah, he's got to go cam. This is low-key spoiling my video, but yeah, I can't just sit back and let you guys pick anyone else right now.
Question. Sorry, I know I said I was gonna sit quiet. What's the reason for this specific formation?
What was it? You guys are the soccer nerds, right?
Yeah, so I wanted an attacking formation that allowed my fullbacks to be able to get forward as well. So because obviously in Blue Lock we're not like everyone's supposed to be a forward.
Who put
So
Nico at
I said,
center?
You want a nitro? You want nitro? Is what you're getting at?
Nitro? I never heard that one.
It's what they called the Blue Lock 11 one, where the like Chigidi and Bachira, they were able to push up.
Yeah.
And Karasu dropped back. So you want a nitro? You want a how they call it, the nitro formation. In that regard, why wouldn't you put Karasu where Nico is and Nico where Chigiri is, and then put Chigiri where Karasu is?
Nico where Chigiri is and Chigiri where...
Like, if the whole purpose is for them to be able to go up and also come back, so Nico should also be able to play there, and Chigiri should be able to play farther up, because if the whole purpose is for them to be able to go up, Leo, you got it. Leo, you got to also be able to play there. Leo, Leo, please. My man.
Leo, is it Leo's mic again?
It's always Leo.
My
Bro's
bad.
gotta...
Going crazy. My bad.
My man's gotta
I really
get that
can't
mic.
hear any of you, so I'm just having to use.
You can't hear us.
From other shit.
It's gonna be.
So I can't hear jack shit right now, so I'm just using the audio from my other device.
But like, wouldn't it make sense you have Karasu in the defensive midfielder position?
I can't be hearing none of y'all.
Wait.
Yeah, that's what I had.
Better as a centre mid.
Leo, go out and come back in. See if that fixes it. Yeah, go on, Arrow.
Like, Karasu is a great defensive midfielder, right? And I think we had a conversation that.
Then Nico again, if I leave, problem should start happening. I can't join back. I don't know.
You should be able to.
Like the immediate I leave here and try to join again, it's just the fucking website is gonna start glitching. This is why I say, bro, let's just at least just try to Discord at least. Because whatever a site this is,
your Discord fucking just as bad, bro.
Right, just try it. Just try it, bro. Just try it.
But like, you have. So why would you put Nico, Karasu, and Chigiri where they are?
So
and not like rotate them slightly. So like put Nico where Chigiri is, Chigiri where Karasu where Nico is.
So the idea is, if Chigiri and Otoyo bomb forward, Nico can drop into the defensive line to make it free.
He takes a free at the back.
Mm-hmm.
And then everyone else is attacking.
But your purpose is Chigiri's going to be up. If you just put him where Karasu is, he's already up.
Yeah, but
right,
what
it is
not really much of a defensive
this formation on
paper from current performances is most like those on offense.
Operate in game. Like, for example, the offensive formation would be different and not a 4-1-2-1-2. It'd be something like a 3-2-5 when attacking. You've got 3 at the back, then you've got 2 versatile midfielders, and then you've got 5 attackers.
Okay.
And I wanted to give Chigri the freedom of that whole flank.
But why are you putting, like, you're putting Karasu as a midfielder, intending for him to go very far up. Karasu never really goes very incredibly far up. Even in the U20 game, he was very, like, just a little bit past midfield. Like, the middle mark. He was a very little
that's
past
where
that.
the 2 midfielders are going to be situated.
Yeah, but, like, why wouldn't you put Karasu where Nico is and have him just go up that far anyways?
Because can Karasu do the job dropping into the defensive line?
Yeah, but if you switch him with Chigidi, he's already there.
But if we're doing it this way, then you're going to have Karasu on the left wing, which I don't think suits him at all.
Well, you're not putting him on the left wing. Or put Nico on the left, put Karasu where Nico is, and put Chigidi up where Karasu is.
No, so the like I said, the idea is Chigiri and Otoya have the freedom of their flank. So really and truly, they're not going to be playing defensive like that. They're going to be more attacking. But we wanted Nico to be able to drop into the defensive line because we didn't want Karasu really to be the one to drop into the defensive line.
Why? He's a great defender.
Yeah, but Nico's played.
He's also got great.
This is the most Errol's placed Karis, man. I'm so happy, bro.
I don't.
Like, but called him
like,
here's the thing. If you have it, like, hear me out on this, right? Assuming you want them to drop back. If you have Nico drop back, right? What would, like, you're gonna want to push? So Karasu and Hiyori would be the midfielders in the instance, and then Otoya, Chigiri would rush to the front line. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In that regard, what is Karasu realistically doing? Like, he's not good at very long passes. Like
picking up the second ball
as a physical ball carrier.
Yeah, picking up the second ball, retaining the ball.
But in this instance, if you're rushing up, you have ball possession. So what would Karasu be doing?
What's Karasu good with? He's good with the ball at his feet. His ball progression is great. Furthermore, having him as a left centre mid also means that you can have him link up with Chigri, which is a very experienced partnership that we have, which would also boost the offensive potency on the left-hand flank.
Okay. If you're very set on this formation, I do recommend swap Karasu and Hiyori. Like, just move them to the side. I think Chigiri and Hiyori is way better than Karasu and Hiyori, especially when you're getting the added benefit of Karasu and Otoya on the same side. Like,
have we seen Chigiri and Hiyori though?
Yeah. Well, not to an insane degree.
Hiyori and Chigiri would work well, especially if, like, Chigiri does a super one and then Hiyori sends a super pass. Like, Errol told me about how, like, Saya and Chigiri would be insane. Just give Hiyori that same role.
But even then, like, you're risking the gamble of Chigiri and Hiyori, which are likely going to have, like, incredible positive results, while also getting Karasu and Otoya, who arguably is one of the best duos you're going to get in terms of, like, play compatibility.
I don't know. They were looking kind of ass in the episode Nagi series. I don't see why they were put so high.
What do you mean? Why were they doing so? What do you mean they weren't doing so good? You have
Karasu got 2 assists to Otoya in the match.
Karasu got 2 assists to Otoya. Otoya scored 2 of the goals.
That's in one match though.
Yeah, but you're making an argument that it looked bad in that match. You're making an argument they looked bad in the match. I'm saying they look good. Like,
for the people that were placed higher than Nagi, Bachira, barou, like, they're meant to be so much better than them. I really don't see the reasoning why
reasons
they're up that high.
I made a video on this a while ago. The reason they're placed up so high is simply because of the pairings and what they could bring for each other. So, like, Rin and Shido, it's, like, not necessarily that those two are the best. Well, they are. At that point, it was a matter of Rin and Shido both manages to score against the World 5 with 2 drastically different play styles. So putting them on a team together allows for Ego to experiment and see, okay, would both of these styles look good going into the U20 game? Because Ego had already confirmed the U20 game was happening, right? Karasu and Otoya, they're there because they have incredibly high play compatibility with each other. So as opponents, it would spark. They have great chemistry already, so it would spark the other formations and other like teams to try and mesh and create more chemical reactions with diverse moveset with diverse styles, especially going into the U20 game. Because remember, the third selection was entirely about prepping the team and prepping the players for the under 20 game. So you have to understand the context of which the teams were formed because of the under 20 game being set. And then Yukimiya and Nagi is incredibly play like dependent, right? He needs a good pass
Yes,
versus
very
Yukimiya,
interesting.
who can do everything himself. So can you get a style that meshes Yukimiya and Nagi, someone who's reliant on others and someone who's fully individual? Can you make them work together? And that's how the formations are made. It's not even set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That really doesn't matter. It just amounts to who are they paired with and why are they paired. Like Shido and Rain, both scored against the World 5, different play styles. Can they mesh together? Karasu and Otoya, incredibly high play compatibility. What do they do for the opponents and other teammates? Can they assert themselves into this already existing high like play compatibility, like this high skill duo? And then we do Kimiya and Nagi, pure dependency versus pure independence. Where do you establish yourself? Do you assist the dependent one, or do you try and overassert yourself as independent? Like that's the purpose of the third selection. So you're putting Karasu and Otoya together, which already have really good play compatibility, with Bachira there too. And again, you can also include Hiyori if you want to, or even Nico in that. And it also depends on who you put at the top side. Like you have so many good options.
I think we know who's going there, those two positions.
Yeah. Well, I think Karasu and Otoya on the right side is great because you have Chigiri and Hiyori on the left. I think they're going to be a great pair.
No,
Also,
it makes sense.
Someone
Makes
said
sense,
that
obviously.
Hiyori wouldn't be bad as a wing back, like he was side
He
back or a
did
fullback.
the whole NEL as a wingback, didn't he?
A little bit, yeah.
He only had like 20 minutes as a left wing. He's been
Not even. You know that. Didn't we talk about this? I'm pretty sure we said that the PXG game versus Bastovich was like 33 minutes.
Yeah, around 33.
Well, yeah,
So-
so like only like 10 minutes as a left wing. Yeah,
Not even. How long do you think it was from the Masters subbing onto the pitch to the end of the game?
Brain cells are lost.
Masters were only on for 3 minutes.
Yeah, 3 minutes,
And
about
then the
maybe an
game
extra
was probably,
5.
like, 5
Even
minutes.
then, was Hiyori even a winger? Because Noah was a winger at that point. So like,
He already got off as a winger as soon as Yukimiya came in, right? Because Hiyori was sent to a winger as soon as Kurona came in, and then was there until because Noah played right wing.
yeah. Like here.
What did
Episode
Ness play? No, he was still center mid. Yeah. I'm thinking about Charles.
what is it? 288, I think. Here, new formation. Hiyori dropped to a wing back. Hiyori plays a fullback.
Right back,
So
yeah, right back.
right back the whole game.
Right.
I don't think he pushed up at all because Ness Yukimiya came in as a winger. Noah was a winger.
Where did Kurona come in?
Corona was a winger. Corona took Hiyori's position, and and then Hiyori put up as a winger. So when Corona subbed on, that's when he played as a winger. So from what was it? I think it was from
253. No,
yeah. So it was
257.
from 259 to 275 is how long Hiyori was a winger. So from Isagi's twin gun to the end of Green's crash shoot.
Wait, hold on. So when Noah comes in, Hiyori gets pushed back?
No, Hiyori was already playing.
No, I meant like pushback, not like subbed out. I said pushback.
Yeah, he was already playing fullback, I think, from the beginning.
No, he started as a fullback, then he moved up to left.
Oh yeah, he did. When
looking for,
Isagi scored, he moved up, didn't he?
Right. So I'm showing a tab. Hiyori on 276 is still left wing. It's only until 288 that Hiyori gets pushed back when Yukimiya comes in.
Yeah.
Who's eating dinner?
Can you hear us now, Leo?
Yeah, there it is. I lost it again. What the hell? Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, so when Yukimiya basically took Hiyori's spot.
Yeah, pretty much. And then Hiyori went back to the right back. So yeah, Hiyori's played most of the NEL as a, I can't say most, but at least half of the NEL as a right back.
So in the Ubers game,
he was
when
right
he
back the
sub
whole
in,
time.
right back as well.
He was right back the whole Ubers game, which was, how long do you think the Ubers game was from the time Hiyori came in?
Hiyori was on for like 5 minutes, bro.
Well,
Because like Hiyori
here's
played,
the thing. Kaiser, as soon as Kaiser scored his bicycle kick,
Masters come on, yeah.
Yeah, Masters came on after the bicycle kick.
And that whole thing was like from 222 to 228, so 6 chapters was 3 minutes. And Hiyori was only there from like 233 of, wait, no, 232 is when the game resumed, and then it ends on 239, or no, 238 is when the game ends. So yeah, he was probably there for like 3 minutes, because that's another 6 chapters.
I'd say maybe 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, I said 5 minutes.
Okay.
We'll give him the benefit of doubt in it.
You'll give him the
maybe,
benefit of the
maybe
doubt.
10, because what? Hiyori was able to get down there. He was able to take a shot on the net and then stop.
Did he not block a shot before that as well?
No, he blocked. He intercepted the pass.
Oh yeah,
from Lorenzo. Yeah.
So 5 minutes tops, I think. Because we gotta remember, like, these matches are actually quite short.
Yeah.
Right, like Bachira versus Munchen was like 10 minutes max.
Bro, yeah, that one was quick.
But do you see my point though? Like of having Karasu on the red, at least from
Yeah, I see it. I see it for sure.
I still would put Karasu as CDM, but that's just me.
I would as well, but
yeah, I mean, we really Nico would need time to actually start on the pitch in a CDM position.
Here's my issue though. I feel like you're looking at this of what each person provided other people. Like Nico,
again.
What's your role for Nico? What is your role for Nico? Explain to me, like, what would he do?
Nico's he's basically there as an auxiliary defensive defender, and as
plays as a halfback.
centre back.
In possession, he drops in between the two centre backs to create a back three. What this role is that it allows our already offensive
again, he's at the center of all of it.
Can you hear us, Leo?
Leo sounds like an angry dad.
I think you might be delayed, Leo.
I'm gonna have a stroke right
Bro,
now.
fall for it. Yeah, I'm delayed by a lot. I can't hear none of y'all.
About
what's going on?
His crap is horrible stuff. It's crap.
Leo, try mess with your settings a little bit, to see where your
audio hop off. Yeah, right. I'll check it later.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm just trying to respond to everything over here right now. God,
it gets to a point, Leo. It gets to a point, Leo.
Over a year ago, bro, you promised us a mic.
Yeah, just mess with your settings. See if that fixes anything. Like there should be settings for where your audio comes out of. Maybe it's coming out of somewhere else.
It's coming out.
Nigga got his shirt over his mouth talking about get a mic, bro. Oh my, you know what? I swear to God.
I don't even need a mic. My voice is a mic in general, bro.
It's just a matter, Leo. It's hard to include you in these events when your stuff is
I'm
always
still gonna
buggy.
be more productive than you, brother. This is trolling at its finest right now.
It's hard to include you in events like this when your stuff very much bugs.
I hear two niggas talking at the same time. I can't hear nothing. Fofu, go chuck your mama batty boy.
I got nothing from that. I don't know about you guys.
Alright. Leo. Bro, just try and see if you can sort it out. So just press that cog button. If I'm sure you should be able to see it on your phone as well. Press that cog button, and there's like a whole slew of settings that you can mess about with. Anyways, where was we? We was with.
Nuclear. We
He
kind of
said
We were
got off.
talking about Nico in it. Why is Nico there?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, he's there to help with the defensive line when we have our fullbacks pushing on in the attack.
Yeah. And the
So,
reason
like
he's
how-
at CDM. Oh,
So is he doing what Karasu did in the U20 game? Like,
Yeah.
So
he
then-
kind of drops he would be a third centre back essentially, but on paper he's a CDM.
so then can you just explain to me why you would pick Nico over Karasu? Then
I've got
he's
Karasu in centre mid because he offers better offensive things.
But why would you pick him over anyone else who would play centre mid?
Because I was going with this team assuming Sai won't be in the U20 World Cup. The other midfielder is Hiyori, and
Rio's the other option.
And Red's but unreliable with the possibility of a crash out next chapter. When
I wouldn't say he's unreliable.
His mentality is too inconsistent.
I mean, going into
and that's kind of an objective fact.
In episode Nagi, he said that he wanted to apologize to Nagi and say, "I want to say what I really want to say," and say like, "All right, I'll see you later, Nagi." It's very likely he's going to do that. He's just going to say, "See you later." Like you're hanging on the edge. You're hanging on the edge that he's going to crash out, and even then, are you assuming that just like him crashing out would throw the whole game? I don't.
I don't think he starts though. I don't think Rayo will start. That's my personal opinion.
Huh? I don't think he'll. But I think in this formation, Rayo is better than like anyone. Like
yeah, but again, the mental aspect of the game is just as important as the physical one.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think he'll be fine in 50 days. He has 50 days. I think he'll be fine, bro. How long does it take to get over a divorce?
Bro, he hasn't been fine up until now.
A lot longer than 50 days.
He hasn't been fine up until now in the story.
Honestly, I have Rayo in my starting 11. I won't tell you where because I have a video to upload soon.
I mean, I mean, can you explain where he wasn't fine recently?
Well, basically, when he lost Nagi to Isagi from that first goal,
that was in second selection.
Yeah, in that second selection, straight away he already lost it. Since then, he's been trying to recover all the way through the story up until this point,
and he has now.
No, he hasn't now.
Yes, he has. Nagi literally says, "You used to freak out and crumble. Now you've completely changed."
Yeah, but don't you think this Nagi exit is gonna relapse him?
And even then, Rayo wasn't entirely confident.
Yeah,
when Nagi went on his own, he was just kind of like, "Wait, hold on, what the hell's going on here?"
He was afraid of losing.
He's not too adept with being left on his own. It was displayed in the second selection when Nagi left him. It was displayed in the second selection again when Isagi and Nagi beat his team and didn't take him.
But you're using second selection evidence. You need to use, if you're saying he's not done now, you got to use current, like good standing, recent evidence to make a point.
This is some
the most recent evidence is the fact that he's been trying to play with Nagi this whole time. When Agi
but now Nagi's going to be gone.
Told him already, that's not going to work.
But still not, yeah, but that's still a matter of like he's not crashing out. He's just playing with the purpose of playing with his friend. He's gotten strong and now he can play with.
We've not got the next chapter yet, but don't you think that once they find out that Nagi's been knocked out, you don't think Rayo's gonna have a reaction to that?
I think he'll have a reaction, but I don't think he'll sell. I don't think he'll sell.
I just got time to keep his head up.
Personally, I think this guy's gonna struggle to carry on.
Also, I'm assuming you're taking your characters at their best. If you aren't, then that's not really fair to Rao. Like that's you're nitpicking.
We're just doing starters.
That's fine, but you need to take them as they are, not as they are like potentially going to be. Like when people talk about like like doing a ranking thing of like the blue lockers in terms of like their strength or something, you're taking them at their best, at the best the players can be, or the average of what the players can be. And on average, Rayo isn't going to be
at the moment. We're
selling
taking
like
them
that.
at their
On
current
average,
point.
Rayo's not a starter anyways, bro.
No,
He's not got
you know,
the
you
experience.
guys currently are.
He's not got
if
the
Rayo's
experience.
mentality is sorted out, he's a starter. If he is perfect for this balanced system, it's just a matter on whether he can get his head in the game and actually lock in without the need of his boyfriend Nagi, which is something we don't have much recent evidence on it happening other than the development of his chameleon style. And even after that, even after his individual breakthrough, he still went back to Nagi anyway. He still relied on that codependency to actually do something, which now he doesn't have that safety net.
He
to
was
have.
force
So
fed his goal by
time.
Chris Prince in this last chapter.
Wait, who? Nagi or Rayo?
Rayo.
Rayo wasn't force fed.
He was.
He was chosen.
Yeah, he kind of was.
No, he
was force fed. Rayo didn't want to shoot.
Bull crap. That's like saying Chigiri only scored because Rayo chose him to assist. That's not how that works.
No, he was force fed because Chris Prince specifically told him shoot it, Rayo Mikage, and then Rayo after shooting it says, Nagi, I'm sorry, I just did it.
Yeah, he's not saying, "Oh, I did it because Prince told me to." He just said, "I did it off of instinct."
That's not
him being spoon fed a goal.
No,
that's
it
him
is.
taking it himself.
Rayo still had to get past Otoya too.
Yeah, Prince sent him a pass, which Otoya didn't. Which Otoya was marking him. He didn't just get it. He had to go around someone and use his own weapons to do that. He didn't like get spoon fed. He got a pass that he had to go to, not a pass that went to him.
If anyone else played him that ball, right, do you think he would have still shot?
Yes!
I don't think so.
What's the difference? What's the difference?
Because he was specifically told, shoot it,
I will
Rayo
be back.
Mikage.
I gotta go get girlfriend Ortiz. I shall return.
You know it's noise.
Alright,
it was specifically Chris Prince specifically shouted, shoot it, Rayo Mikage.
Yeah, and if anyone gave him the pass, he would have done the same thing.
But that's when Rayo switched. That's when we saw him turn into the flow. After Chris Prince shouted,
turn into the flow, I'm dead.
He's gone. He's done. He's done. He's done.
That was actually funny. I can't lie.
This is such a weird dynamic we've got going on here.
Nah, OP. It's not the same thing as the twin gun volley. Because twin gun volley.
Strikers in. We've been holding on this for a minute.
No, we know who the strikers are, bro. Like that's a non-issue.
Alright, so Isagi and Rin.
Yeah, Isagi and Rin. It's easy. Isagi on the other side though. Rin on the right side.
Oh yeah, Isagi has Hiyori on the left. Oh yeah.
Yeah, OP. The twin gun volley the twin gun volley wasn't spoon fed because Isagi had every intention to score in that moment, and Isagi is the one that orchestrated the whole move in the first place. Whereas Rayo was literally given the ball by Chris Prince, forced the Chris Prince chose to ignore Nagi and forced it onto Rayo and screamed, shoot it, Mikage Rayo, and Rayo then entered the flow and then took the shot unknowingly, and then he when he got back into his senses, he said, Nagi, I just moved. Rayo didn't have any intention to shoot at that point. Rayo's plan was for Nagi to get the next goal. That was always Rayo's plan. That's why after he assisted Chigiri, he said Nagi is, and that was meant to be Nagi is next.
See, I think what we need to do is
Twin gun wasn't even supposed to happen, OP. Like Isagi was just supposed to get a normal direct shot. Isagi had to create that out of his ass, out of nowhere.
But Isagi orchestrated the whole
yeah, he orchestrated it, but it was never supposed to be a twin gun. He had to improvise that one.
Yeah, the twin gun itself, the shot was an improvisation, but he orchestrated the whole attack for himself to be the one to shoot in the first place.
Well, okay, what we need to do is just set like common ground. What do you mean by spoon-fed in this context?
I mean, if Chris Prince hadn't told him to shoot, Rayo had no intention to shoot. That's what I mean by spoon-fed. Rayo, we heard the dialogue from Rayo and his mind. He had no intention of shooting. He probably had no intention of even scoring in the whole match. His whole intention was to get the assist to increase his bid and make sure that Nagi got an assist so that he could increase his bid. Rayo had no intention of scoring in the whole match. That's what I mean by it was spoon fed. That's what I mean he was forced.
I can get that. And because it was kind of just like his instincts took over, it went against his desires, and his desire wasn't to score.
Yep.
And what I think it is that compare it to the second selection first match between Bachira, Nagi, Isagi, and Rin Tokimitsu Aryu. And what it was Nagi's goal after Bachira passed to him, flicked it over Aiku and scored it on the volley, if you know which one I'm talking about. And after that moment, Nagi mentioned how he felt as if Bachira's idea of how he would score was forced into his brain. He had no intention of doing that. It just felt as if Bachira's pass kind of forced him to do it. I think it could be a similar case here where it was Chris Prince's pass.
It
that
literally
had
was
kind of force on Nagi.
See, the thing is, right? Chris Prince, there's a reason why there was a whole panel of Chris Prince screaming, "Score it, Rayo Mikage! I want to see your future." There's a reason why that panel exists. It's not there just on a whim. It's there to indicate that without him screaming those words, Rayo had no intention of shooting in that moment. He had no intention of shooting in that moment. Rayo, they even showed Rayo being surprised that the ball was coming towards him in the first place.
It's kind of like shoot, I have to kind of do something now.
Yeah. So OP, when you're saying spoon-fed means you do nothing and it's given to you, okay, so you're just getting bogged down on the actual word spoon-fed. But that's not really what we're discussing right now. We're discussing the fact that Rayo was forced to shoot. Again, he didn't want to shoot. That wasn't his intentions in the first place. He was forced to shoot. Like I'm not talking about Rayo didn't do anything for the goal. Like I rate Rayo, and I even if you listen to my review, I said how great that goal was. I loved it when Otoya scored it, and I loved it when Rayo scored it. And that's what I said in my review. But the whole him being in that situation in the first place, that was forced onto him by Chris Prince. It wasn't Rayo's intention to be in a position to shoot.
Yeah, and the reason it was called the improv copy was because he had to improvise based on the new situation that Chris Prince forced upon him.
Yeah. If you don't want to use the word spoon-fed, that's fine. But it's not really like, let's not get bogged down on the word spoon-fed. What we're discussing is the fact that he was forced to shoot. That's all it is. But yeah, we've got
spoon-fed kind of okay. Actually, no,
no. Go on.
It
finish your thought.
how much such an appeal to authority in the Cambridge Dictionary. Spoon-fed means to feed a baby or other person using a spoon. In this analogy, the ball is the spoon.
Damn, I look sexy.
So we've got Chris Prince as the dad feeding the baby Rio with the food, aka the ball. Rayo still has to open his mouth to eat the food. He still has to take that shot himself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if we're going by the spoon-fed of you do nothing, it's basically implying that the person feeding the baby has to open their mouth for them and forcibly put the food in. in this case, that's not how it works. You go, here comes the aeroplane. Baby opens their mouth. You feed them the food. The baby still opens the mouth themselves. And that translates over to Rayo still having to kind of make the move to actually take the ball and score.
Yeah, I completely understand where OP's coming from with like the terminology might not be the best, like spoon fed might not be the word for it, because it does make it seem as if like you're diminishing the actual goal itself with the movement and the copying and all that stuff. But I'm not trying to diminish the goal itself. I'm just trying to point out that Rayo just didn't intend to be in a striking position and to score a goal in that moment. That wasn't his intentions, but those were the intentions that were forced onto him by Chris Prince. That's all it
Looking at
is.
it from a linear perspective.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah. So this was what formation is this? This is like
4-1-2-1-2 on paper.
Yeah, and this is
In
what
game,
our neutral formation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In game, it'd be more of a 3-2-5 with Nico dropping to defense and the wing backs flying up the field.
Yeah.
That's essentially what it'd be.
So then what should we do next? A defensive formation?
Yeah,
10 at the back. 10 at the back. Let's go.
Everyone park the
Just
bus.
have Bachira in the front, everyone in the back.
Oh no, wait, hold on. Go for a 9-2 formation. Get everybody at the back,
That's
and then just have
ridiculous.
Rin and Bachira up front to just dribble through the whole team again and again and again.
I
We'll
would
get through
have
eventually.
Chigiri, bro.
Get the two best dribblers to just solo the whole team. Just keep on passing the ball to them. Just have 9 players parking the bus. Like we've got just all of them. We've got Gagamaru, 8 outfielders, and then just Rin and Bachira just running at the team, just again and again and again. We'll get there eventually. They will score a solo super goal one way or another.
Yeah. See, you have to have Chigiri round there as well, because he can catch up to them for support.
They can be like the substitute. They can be the substitute offensive players. It's like,
Raito Arrow comes back
the whole
and
team. They're a bit out of
shenanigans crap, bro.
Mia and Chigiri on.
He's gonna look at this and be like, "What the fuck have you guys done?" Wait, no, but wouldn't so? Would you change? So would you guys actually change Nico and put Karasu in there and then have a Rayo in there instead?
Yeah, for me.
Yeah.
For me, yeah.
Okay.
But I would have kept Rayo with Chig. Yeah, I would have kept Rayo with Chigri if we were doing that. So like I would have had Rayo as left center mid.
Left center mid. Is this even a proper formation, like a real formation?
I don't think
Wait, the one I have right now.
Yeah.
Well, based on
no.
what
I don't
it looks
know
like, it looks like
just put some people back.
Looks like a really cack-handed.
Wait, where should we move Isagi? Down here? Like, how do we make this a 9-2? Do we just like?
Oh my god, we're actually making it. Just drop everybody right next to Gagamaru.
Is that even possible?
Front two. Just drop everybody next to Gagamaru. Look at this, absolute cinema.
Why would you even need to defend there?
Put IQ in front of.
Yeah, block crosses, and then just get. No, wait. Put number 8 and 5 back. 8 and 6 back where they were. Yeah, 6 and 4 can be good for blocking crosses and that. And then just get 2, 11, 7 and 5 and just pop them all in the gaps between the 5 at the back.
This is so cringe.
Yeah, this is messed up, bro. This is so messed up.
Look at that.
This is definition of park the bus.
If Jose Mourinho would be proud.
Yep, for sure. But personally, if it was to do a defensive formation, I think the person you keep up front would be Chigiri, so you could just smash it over the top of the opposition team, and he'd be the one to run onto it.
Yeah, but if you make him run too much, his leg might snap.
Oh yeah, I forget this guy. Yeah.
It was even shown in the most recent
got
chapter
craps
in
today.
episode Nagi.
In the episode, wait, let me, because it's not cramp that he goes down with, is it?
It's
No,
tendon.
My
It's
knee.
a tendon injury.
He said his tendons were hurting,
Tendons, yeah.
which means that they were most likely very strained.
Yeah,
And
ligaments.
usually when you have strain on an area that was previously injured, its endurance is far worse, so it takes far less pressure before it actually kind of gives out.
Yeah,
And that can lead to, like, tendons being pulled, snapped, or anything in between.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
So it could be a sign of things to come, because it appears that Chigiri may not be able to play a full 90 without, having a tendon issue.
Yeah, that's the.
Could
So that makes sense. That makes sense why Ego was so hard on him.
It's kind of like, yo, your fitness ain't up to par.
Yeah.
But don't you think this would be something they would fix in that Chiguru was aiming to fix?
Yeah, he's just not had enough.
It's not really something you can fix. It's
I don't you have a video of him getting injured. I still see him getting injured again. He's not gonna be fine, but I think he can play 190-minute match, but he can't play a 120, or he'll get injured sometime in the thing.
But Daddy, don't you think that through if he trains his endurance a little bit more, he'll be able to last a bit longer without having to strain his ligament. Because one thing we've got to remember is before Blue Lock, he pretty much stagnated his footballing career. He must not have been training properly, and he probably wasn't running properly, doing full 90s. I think the more he does, the better he'll get. No,
who's here now?
It's actually very up in the air. I don't see much hope, actually, because from previous injury records, the example I'll use is Ansu Fati. His career kind of fell down because of perpetual injuries to the same area. I'm pretty sure it was his knee, which is a very similar area for Chigiri, I think. Yeah. They both have the same injury.
Yeah.
Now, what happened is that post-injury, the Barcelona physiotherapist team did mention how Ansu Fati didn't properly retrain himself.
Yeah.
He didn't follow their more restricted system. You can't do too much.
Yes.
Or else.
Yes.
Ooh, got a helicopter flying over.
Yeah, the thing is that Chigiri hasn't really had much time to rest either.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
so
sorry.
I still see him getting hurt.
Basically, what it was is that since Ansu hasn't followed his physio's advice, it led to him getting these perpetual injuries in the same spot. If what we've been shown is with Chigiri is consistent, it also suggests the same thing, that he wasn't properly training. He wasn't even running. He wasn't building his leg back up after it happened in a general way. What happens is that if you don't train an area immediately, okay, not immediately, but
you have to train it properly with intention.
Your muscles' pliability becomes far worse.
Mm-hmm.
Pliability meaning how flexible the muscle's ability to contract and retract is. If you're not able to properly train its pliability, it makes the muscle's endurance far worse and makes them far more prone to being injured again.
Yeah.
Hasn't had time to acclimatize. And that is seemingly suggested with Chigiri as well, because he wasn't doing any running after his injury. He only showed it after he awakened.
Yeah.
And then even after that point, all he's been doing is just full throttle running, which means he's gone from however long period of just not running not bringing his muscles not bringing like his muscles just his body back into football gradually. He's gone from nothing to maximum, which means essentially what I've just been explaining could occur, where his endurance just isn't that good, and eventually once he's like over this very more imminent tipping point, everything is just gonna go kapush all in one go.
Yeah. And I hear it.
And that will just lead to more successive injuries, which we've seen from Ansu Fati, someone with a very similar injury that didn't follow a recovery protocol. He's been having repetitive knee injuries again and again and again.
Yeah.
And that's what's led to him stagnating
his
for about
downfall. Like
3 years.
literally he was supposed to be the next big thing after Messi, they said.
I know.
I hate it when people
It's Yamal now.
people the next Messi. I hate it.
Yeah, bro. You don't want that tag because that tag's a killer for anyone's career, bro.
Yeah, literally the first example of it is probably the prime example, Bojan Krčić.
Yeah.
The first person to be labelled the next Messi. And
Let's just talk
Messi's
pure
cousin.
football until Arrow comes. He's gonna be so fucking confused, bro.
So
mention people he wouldn't know.
Like who? Does he know?
He does. He knows Zlatan, Messi. You know, like the most popular. He wouldn't know like an Ansu Fati. He wouldn't know like Sergio Busquets. He wouldn't know those guys.
Busquets.
Sergio Busquets.
Did you say Busquets or biscuits?
Busquets.
It's not biscuits.
I did not say biscuits. I said Busquets.
Okay,
phew. I heard biscuits.
I used to call him Sergio Biscuits, bro, but that was on purpose. But yeah, so
phenomenal player.
Emerald A says, "I swear, if Chigri gets injured, so Nagi gets into the U20 team, I'm going to be pissed." Who wants Nagi back?
We're not saying Nagi comes back because of this. We're just saying because of real life, even though if you train the way you're supposed to, if you don't rest your body, even though you understand your talents, you train hard enough, it can mess you up.
Yeah. You need to follow a recovery protocol when you get injured. Like everyone that's been injured should at least like know what I'm talking about. Like the physiotherapist or whoever was treating you gives you a recovery protocol that you have to follow to prevent injury. Yeah. I had it when I injured my knee in a game once. They give you something and you have to follow it, or else it could literally just bugger you up for the rest of your life.
Yeah, for sure. So
and even if you
jiggery.
So this I've got a question, right? If Nagi was not Nagi, sorry. If Chigi was to get injured again during the U20 match, and we know obviously Nagi finished 24th position, right? If your ego, are you calling up Nagi or are you sticking with the 22 that are left?
I'm sticking with
it depends when Chigiri gets injured. In your hypothetical scenario, is he injured before the U20 World Cup or during it?
During.
Then you can't call up Nagi because you have your official squad already. You have a date where you make your official squad.
You'd have to settle with it.
Yeah.
Which is why I suggest some people to like at least learn some of the rules of football because they'll be saying the most dumbest stuff without even knowing like how football works.
Oh, that reminds me. In the Neo Egoist Geek server, I presented the 4-1-2-1-2 formation with my own lineup, and I had Hiyori centre mid, obviously, and I didn't field Bachira because I had a front three of Isagi, Barou, and Rin. And he was just like, well, if Bachira isn't as good as those three, then you should play him centre mid. And I had like I think it lasted about like 2 days of just a back and forth. He was just like, Bachira's offensive skills would be like amazing. He can solo whole teams and stuff. And I'm like, okay, cool. But like, where's your defensive stability? And it's like, oh, that doesn't matter. He can also defend and stuff. He hasn't shown many defensive feats, whereas
But
Hiyori.
do you know?
That's not even football. That's him not even know in his own manga, bro.
But do you know one thing though? Like Bachira and Rin, they're great at soloing and dribbling past under 20s. But once we get into the World Cup, once we get into teams, real teams, that's not going to be the case. You can't just solo teams like that.
That's why I'm looking forward to when they start getting into the pro leagues. I want to. I know, like, this is just the nerd in me speaking, but I want to see far more tactical approaches. Like, actually give the managers some credit.
Yeah.
Because if it's just like Isagi and his metavision just running the game, just like.
So do you think we're gonna get like proper like tactics and managerial stuff from Ego this time round?
I hope so. I want to see just some managers in general.
I want to see other countries do like a very good job.
Football.
Yeah, we want to see real managers in the dugout, not that U20 shit.
Like, you know how Italy is like very defensive. Like, I've watched Taikyu. They like adapt their game like consistently. I want like after one goal, the manager's like, okay, boys, listen up. They scored a goal on us. Like, all right, here's the game plan. That's the type of stuff I want, like consistent, like adaptability from the coaches onto the players. Not just like Isagi's the only one adapting to the field, so everyone else is dying because one person adapts. Like, I want the team evolution type of stuff.
Yeah,
that's why go on.
So we need a team that's like heavily reliant on their managers' tactics to get through, not just
heavily,
the individuals.
Not heavily reliant.
No, I want at least one team that's heavily reliant. Like say that the team itself is very average, but their tactics are that good.
No,
like we haven't seen a manager that get that much credit because like Ego is a good manager, but like he has a stacked team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's got the protagonist on his team.
Yes, exactly. I want a team just like freaking Camel Mint. No, that's not a good team. I can't talk about IQ.
If I want a nation to have a really good manager, then I want it to be the Netherlands team.
Yes, they are very like average in terms of attacking capabilities with like one or two good players, but their system is so damn strong.
I just love Dutch football.
Mm-hmm.
PSV is a very fun team to watch in Champions League, except when they got humbled by Arsenal.
We do that to most teams, guys. As you guys have seen, we do that to most teams. I mean, people forget we smashed Man City 5-1 not long ago.
Oh yeah, you guys did that.
People forget that. But yeah.
And you also don't have any attackers, pretty much.
Yeah, right now we're living off scraps, bro.
I know you guys have Marino as your striker today. I'm like,
his goal today was a banger though. Like this guy, he shoots like a striker. He shoot and if it wasn't for Courtois, he would have had another as well.
Well, that's kind of the goalkeeper's job to stop.
Yeah,
shot.
Man,
you can't read about. If it wasn't for Courtois, he would have scored. Courtois doing his job.
Courtois no Fukaku, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. He's no Fukaku, bro. This guy's the real deal.
Fukaku is terrible.
Yeah,
I think he could serve actually quite a decent role in the World Cup.
Right.
How?
Do you know why he's in though?
Maybe like, training Agamari or something.
Exactly.
Nagi's the only reason this guy had a chance of getting a good bid though. Like Nagi sold badly in Ubers to the point where like Fukaku was getting good shots and they only not conceded one goal. That's the only reason he's here.
Well, they do have to get a second keeper, and you need at least two keepers.
Personally, I would have put like Aryu or like even Shido would have done a better job as goalkeeper. I can't lie.
Shido was a goalkeeper.
If it wasn't for his
any outfield player, I'd have Raito.
He has the flexibilities, and he also has very good knowledge of the goal box itself for spatial awareness. He just doesn't have the ego.
He's very good at shooting the ball in the box.
Yeah, The problem, he's very flexible. Like he could do what Gagamal can do. The problem is he doesn't care for that position as he exists for the sake of scoring goals.
Exactly.
So he could never like actually mentally do it.
Yeah, but also he hasn't shown any actual like goalkeeper skills. Like I know Gargamel didn't show many, but I mean his athleticism is just something out of this world. Like he was
Shino
doing
has very good
defensive. He
reflexes
was
too,
doing
though.
He was doing scorpion kicks casually in the third selection. He was like, "Oh, the ball's gone over my head. Let's just casually do a scorpion kick to get rid of it."
Yeah, yeah, bro.
Who can go around
But
saying,
he
"Oh,
needs.
I used a scorpion kick"? What? You did a scorpion kick? Oh, you're surprised? I kind of just
So
that's like an average Tuesday.
I've got 2 questions right now. Do you guys think that will ever be introduced to BLUELOCK? I mean BLUELOCK specifically. The BLUELOCK players will ever be introduced to any proper coaches to help them actually like learn things, or do you think they're just gonna carry on with challenges and trying to learn egos and stuff like that until the very end?
Well, we've kind of already had the more like teaching.
I mean, those guys are not coaches;
with...
those are players.
I know, but it shows that the story is willing to look at these more experienced players like Ego, Snuffy, and Prince.
Because
They're the best 3 examples.
You've got to remember, like all of those guys, they have managers and coaches that coach them. I'm talking about real coaches.
I know. Well, I was getting
like a Jose Mourinho type of guy.
Yeah, that's what I was getting onto.
Yeah, I'm not talking manager specifically. I'm talking about coaches, like someone.
Like what do you want
Coach Nana say how to trap a ball or something.
Nah, Bunda, Coach Nana say how to cheerlead at this stage. That's what we're getting him in for.
No, what I was saying is that with the displays from someone like Chris Prince, it shows that the show is willing to go down a coaching kind of way, because it shows with how Chris is training with all of their like physical training profiles and how good they all got. I mean, I know their team was like ass, but blame Nagi and Raito being bum buddies for that. But it's shown with Chigiri and his physical displays, it shows that they're willing to show off a more coaching kind of role through Chris Prince and also show it being successful as well. So what I think that means is that going ahead, it could also suggest that the show's going to be willing to look at more coaches in the future as well, and they're going to make it something successful.
Sorry, it's not you coaching a guru. Would I be pretty?
Yo, Coach
Igaguri is a defensive coach.
Yeah,
he's also got kind of like that motivational side to him. Like we saw during the first election how he was very like vocal and motivational as well.
Yeah, true.
So he could also do like, I could see him being like a Master Roshi kind of thing, where he's just like a super weird person, but like when he gets his act together, he's all right. Like he'd be the kind of person that says, like, work hard if you need to. If you can't work hard and need to cheat, just don't get caught.
Mm-hmm.
I could see him bringing that kind of mentality to the coaching world.
Yeah.
Just cheat, but don't get caught.
And the other question I was going to ask, right, is obviously we're not gonna jump straight into playing, Brazil and Costa Rica and them man's there. We have to have some practice in as an 11. I'm not too keen on the idea of BLUELOCK 11 versus 11. I'm more keen on the idea of international friendlies. Maybe play a South Korea or something.
Perfect for international friendlies. Where did Costa Rica come from when you were mentioning like big teams? Like you were going like Brazil, and I was like, he's bringing out the top guns. Costa Rica.
Because when I said that, I meant as in like we're not just gonna jump into like straight into the World Cup fixtures.
You said top guns, though, bro. And then mention Costa
Are
Rica.
you talking about big teams? Mention
if they
Brazil and
qualify,
then follow up with Costa Rica.
if they qualify, bro.
Costa Rica haven't had a good player since Keylor Navas was
Oh,
on.
he was a baller still though.
That's a goalkeeper for the generations, bro.
Listen,
Yeah, streets won't forget Keylor Navas.
listen,
Most underrated keeper of our generation.
listen. Right, that I just meant like we're not gonna jump straight into the World Cup fixtures, and I don't really want to see Blue Lock 11 versus Blue Lock 11. Really, I would actually like to see us do some international friendlies, play China, in a friendly
World Cup
match.
qualifiers.
South Korea could
No,
be one.
no, because I think they've already qualified. I just mean like just friendlies to actually get the 11 up to speed, and in a friendly they can lose, and it'd be nice. It'd be nice finally seeing them lose.
Jesus, plot
I mean,
Saki has really
usually
run.
during the international break, I'm pretty sure there's about 3 international games.
Yeah, it's something like 3 to 4. No, not 4, like 2 to 3.
Yeah.
During
I
the
guess
international
that
break,
gives the opportunity.
it depends
for
on which break it is. Normally, it's only 2 games in international breaks.
Well, if it is 2, then it gives room for 1 loss and 1 win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that'd be sick. That'd be sick. I would love that. I would love them to play like they play
I would love them to play
China
Costa
Belgium.
and they
Rica.
win,
Let's get them
and then
against Costa Rica.
no.
Belgium.
They'll play China and win, and then they'll play South Korea, and then they'll lose, and that's the match just before the start of the World Cup. So they go into the World Cup with a loss.
I was
That'd be
thinking
sick.
they'd
Do you
lose the
think?
first game and then win the second.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, that would work as well. That would work. But they just can't jump straight into the World Cup matches without actually practicing against
No, they won't do that. They
against
won't.
other nations. I mean, like against other nations, because Blue Lock 11 versus 11. That's 11
It's just
attackers
the same
versus 11
characters.
attackers, bro.
It's just,
Like we
Or 11
yeah.
attackers versus 9 attackers plus IQ and Fukaku. You know.
Bro, I want to see like other nation. I want to see the world. I want to see them explore like different countries, bro, or wherever the
Yeah.
venue.
That's why I hope that there might be like a Champions League art, because it's obviously something which exists. It's
That
proven
needs to
by
be
Itachi
episode
Sai.
side, bro.
Yeah,
That
Sai
needs
wants
to be
to win
episode
the
side.
champion.
That needs to be its
So
own
we
thing.
could actually see Itoshi Sai maybe in between 2 World Cups as maybe just like
I
Mm-hmm.
want it to be its
like
own
an
thing because if
antagonist
it's the
during
main
the World.
story, they're gonna put Isagi all over it, and this is supposed to be like Sai's thing.
Yeah.
Like
You know, Sai is still like a Top Gun. You know, he's still very prevalent, even though he wasn't shown in the U20 World Cup. And then you get the Champions League where you can have Blue Lockers actually face against Blue Lockers as well. Like you could have like
that's Yugoslav.
Bastard versus okay, I'd probably have whatever team Isagi is on against Real in the final. But you could have like different matchups like I don't know, Bachira versus Chigiri on whatever teams that they're on. You can actually have Blue Lockers face each other in the Champions League.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
you can have like Sai and Luna as like final like antagonists in the Champions League final. And
Sai,
then
Luna, and Rin.
what it can be is that they're able to beat Real and they can show that they can be on par with top strikers. Like let's say like Isagi on Bastard beats like Luna and Sai.
Mm-hmm.
And this could like prove to Sai that there's finally a Japanese striker that's actually worthy of his passes. And he'd be like, okay, you've shown that you can do it at the professional level. You managed to beat the strongest team, Isagi. You're finally worthy. And then he joins the Japan squad for the proper Champions League match. And also shows
You mean
that
proper World
Isagi
Cup?
can coexist with the pros now, because he would be on the same team as Noah. And he would show, like, let's say, I don't know, it could be him and Hiyori on Bastard. And obviously, Hiyori's philosophy is pass to the striker in the best position. And it could be like the last goal in the Champions League. They're on the offense. And Hiyori actually sees that Isagi got into a better position than even Noah did. Passes to him. Isagi devours Noah. And this would be like the first time he does so. Scores the final Champions League winning goal, proving that he managed to usurp the world's number one. And this could be like a display of, see, Noah, I'm capable of defeating you. I'm going to go into this World Cup and prove that to everybody.
Yeah.
While also getting the support of Sai as well. And then he joins the World Cup squad for Japan.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be sick. I really want to see a Champions League arc. I would love it. But I don't know. Do we get that far though? Do we get all that?
The problem is, I think that's too much because
Yeah.
you would have to like speed run the Champions League. I want it to be like its own episode Sai thingy. Because everyone's saying Isagi and Sai. I feel like Ren needs to be the one to bring back Sai to Japan.
Really?
Like, I think Ren on La Real has a chance to like have a story with Sai. Like they could build something up with like Ren trying to bring back the promise thing again. Like I know Isagi Sai is
I
gonna
don't want them to go with that whole promise thing, like, oh, we'll be the two best strikers in the world.
No, not that, not the two strikers, but like Ren will show Sai like just how better he is. Like he finally came. Like Ren told Sai, "I'm gonna join you," because Sai's like, "Don't stay here for too long. You gotta join me for the world too." Now that Ren is in the world, they can like
That's
finally catch themselves.
Yeah.
Not the
With
whole
Rin
striker thing.
on Real, you can have that kind of side saga of Rin like trying to break into the Real squad with the intention of proving to Sai that he is the better brother.
Now you're seeing what I'm getting. Yeah, it's just that if the Champions League happens in the main arc, it's gonna be hard to do like La Real, except they only show La Real for one game because like this is a very Isagi centric story, and like Isagi hasn't really like focused on the Champions League. More of like Sai has focused on this. Why am I center thing? Jesus. Yeah, but I feel like since Sai is the one with the dream to win it, I feel like it should be an episode Sai thing, unless they want to give time to like properly show all the teams like how Haikyuu did with the nationals. Because if they do the thing with Champions League where it's like Isagi the whole time and you barely get to see everyone else, that will trigger me.
Yeah.
Days, bro.
That's why I think it would be like kind of what we got in the more recent chapters where we were bouncing between Isagi and the Bachira versus Munchen match. Kind of not an exact replica, but just a similar style to that, where we just bounce over every now and then.
It really depends on how the author decides to do things. Because if they do it like that, I'm fine. But if they do it like, let's say, Uber's match where you would only see like the ending of another match, like that's pissing me off. Because I want to see like a Germany versus Argentina thing in the main World Cup with Kaiser versus Pablo. Also, I think
sorry, go on.
Agi, I think he's gonna be Ganyan. What do you guys think he is?
That's fair.
Ghanaian.
Yeah.
Ghanaian. He could be Nigerian.
Right. Nigeria. Like they have a lot of focus too. That's true.
Yeah, Nigeria do have a good football team.
Dedu, you were about to say something before I brought up what country this was from.
Oh, I was It was about Cavassos. And his basically in the new episode Nagi chapter, we finally saw Cavassos use
Metavision.
Metavision, yeah.
But the interesting thing about it was that his metavision was inversed.
Yeah,
in
that's
terms
what I
of
thought.
design.
See, I knew something
Yeah.
was weird
It's
about it.
not the same as everyone else's because everyone else like
Yeah,
has a
inverted.
puzzle piece or like a watchtower. His is like
No,
an
it's the normal base metavision
pattern,
design, but the
but it's
colors are
inverted
inverted.
colored. Yeah.
Yeah, inverted.
Yeah,
So
is that an episode of Nagi thing or?
it was in episode Nagi,
Yeah,
but
I
it was a
know. I
display.
mean,
It
what I'm
it
saying is,
was it was a display of just metavision, just metavision.
but what
It
I'm
was
saying is that because it's episode Nagi art style, or is it
the art
significant?
style's rather. There's not much difference in the art style, and
I can see
even then,
the difference.
I said it's not too different.
Yeah, it's
Like
not too different,
they're not identical.
but we've not seen Metavision shown in episode of Nagi till now.
Yeah, but a slight art style difference doesn't really suggest a reason for why Metavision, such an integral part of the series, would have such a difference put on it. Like
No,
Nagi still
I
looks
agree.
like Nagi. Barou still looks like Barou, even when he's getting clowned on by Dada Silva.
No,
I don't see why they would change up Metavision for one player that hasn't been shown with Metavision on paper. So I think
So
it's just something different. It is a different form of Metavision.
yeah, because normally Metavision isn't used to find a passing path though.
Yeah, because
Which
Metavision is the usage of your head turning and peripheral
yeah,
vision. It's a form of
I think
advanced
it's its
spatial
own
awareness.
eye, honestly. Like similar to Charles, how he has his own passing guy.
that's what I'm saying. Like that, it threw
That's
me off at
why
first. I knew there was something different from the looks of it. I just
what
didn't.
it is I think this comes down to what my original theory for what Charles's eye was that I think it was like a kind of an eye to represent his contrarian vision. And instead of taking in all of the information from his like how Metavision usually operates, like he's shown to have Metavision, he has the capability for
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
What this new eye does is that instead of like showing him the best passing route, it instead shows him the most unpredictable one. And it kind of worked because it would show him that because it would obviously how you choose things visually comes from how your brain processes the information. Charles, being a contrarian, would always like process things on the contrary to common logic. So instead of finding the logical best route, which we see from these logical thinkers like Hiyori and Isagi, it would instead show him the illogical option, the one contradicting logic. It shows him that instead of what it would usually be shown with these logical thinkers. That's what I think his eye is that it represents this contrarian option. And then that would also explain why, Cavassos's eye seemed to show this passing thing, but not to the similar display to which Charles showed. Like it
Yeah.
could be instead of a passing option that shows the most unpredictable, the most contrary to logic, instead shows the best, most logical passing option.
Okay.
Like for me, when I was making this theory, I thought about like this Boruto character Karaki. Like he has an eye called Sukuna Hikona. So basically, it brings in like the smallest. It can shrink items or like expand shade on it. I was thinking of more like shrinking it. Like usually when you use metavision, you expand on the field. Like you expand all the options possible. Meanwhile, like with this new Sukuna Hikona, that's what I'm calling it for now. You get to shrink it to the most unexpected, like the smallest chance of a pass happening. Like Kaiser says, you basically have a 0.1 chance of happening. Yeah, I only need 0.1 to make that pass type of energy.
Yeah, that's kind of how Predator Eye works. It kind of just narrows it down. Instead of giving you all the options, it gives you just like not really one option, but instead it just eliminates all unnecessary information.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
kind of how Predator Eye works. And if you're narrowing it down, it kind of does the same thing. So it could work if like Cavassos had like a passing with Predator Eye. It shows him, it eliminates kind of the peripheral vision aspect, but instead allows him to focus with what's in front of him, and it gives him.
Yeah, that's how I thought the whole passing would work. With like I always thought that Predator Eye would be sick for pinpoint passes. I never thought. Yeah, I never thought that Metavision will be the one used to find a passing option.
Yeah, I think Predator Eye would work really similar to the Emperor Eye shown in by Akashi in Kuroko no Basket.
I haven't forget yet.
Instead of focusing on everything around him, he's instead able to focus on individual aspects of the player. He's able to kind of like focus on something singular, such as like how their body's moving.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like how Predator Eye works in a way. And it also works with his passing as well. So that's why I agree with what you were saying. Like Predator Eye would be really good for passing.
Yeah. So while you got wrecked, 22 is asking, just got here. Why is Rayo not in this team?
Because he's gonna crash out.
Yeah. So we explained it earlier, but we basically said we think that Rayo is gonna need some time to recover.
He's gonna need some therapy.
Yeah, with Nagi, his boyfriend, leaving the facility. Also, for me, Rayo wasn't a starter even before now, and there's other players that can get on the pitch before him. I do think he will eventually become a starter, but Rayo doesn't have connections with anyone else like that, really. So
what I was thinking is that I think once Rayo's mentality issues are sorted out, he's a clear entrance into the team. And I think what could happen is that instead of this 4-1-2-1-2 that we've got, which excludes Rayo, instead switches more to a 4-3-3, and you get a midfield three of like Harasu, Rayo, and Hiyori.
Yeah.
Which is an absolutely amazing midfield three.
Yeah, that
and you can have them up front with like maybe Bachira, Chigiri, and Isagi. Like it could be that during the World Cup, like Barou, like something happens to Barou. He's like either like not good enough to be a starter, or is like very isolation based play style where it's just score.
This is something that. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Like his playstyle doesn't really reflect well with a system that's not based around him, like Uber's. And Rin's destroyer mode could still have its liabilities. So they could actually maybe even both lose their main spot when they get like beaten by Isagi, and it causes like a formation shift with Barou and Rin coming out, and then you've got like Rayo and like Bachira coming in, and it could lead to like a whole like team switch up in a way.
Okay.
It can give more screen time to other players as well.
Let's not forget Shido's in the mix as well.
I think Shido will just be a trump card. He will just be there to sit on the bench and do something if need be.
Fair, yeah.
Basically, just what happened in the U20 game. Ego would be like, "Ooh, we're in a bit of a pinch. Shido, get on the pitch and don't be too freaky."
Yeah, I'd love to
I
see.
think Shido's matured in that aspect, though.
Wasn't Shido supposed to be the first wild card? Not wild card. Was it wild card?
The joke.
Joker.
Yeah.
Joker?
Yeah, he was supposed to be the first Joker card, but then he got picked by Sai, so then Barou became the Joker.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if Barou and Shido are both on the bench, how's this Joker system gonna work?
They both come out at the same time and just start messing with everyone.
Yeah.
But couldn't they also heavily conflict with each other, and so
That's the whole point of the Joker, though, isn't it?
well, it could be very self-destructive as well, could it not?
Yeah, that's true. But I think that's the gamble you have to take. That's why it's a Joker. I think that's the
Or
gamble you have to
do
take
you
because
just rotate between them, bringing on one or the other based on the scenario of the pitch at the current time?
what's that face, Suki?
I forgot. I was messaging someone. Don't worry about that. Don't worry.
Bro, bro's having evil thoughts, bro. Oh, mate. But yeah, no, it's yeah, I think we can't forget that we have some good options up front
Yeah,
apart from
we're
Rin.
stacked.
Yeah, apart from Rin and Isagi, there are some real good options, and I think that's partly why Nagi had to be taken out because like Nagi would have been part of that upfront option, and
Nagi and not Zantetsu for an attacking option.
yeah,
Xantetsu's
what's
gonna be a right
Zantetsu gonna do? Oh, actually, guys, okay, so I think on the bench, how many are you allowed on the bench at one time? Like 8 players?
7.
7?
I think so, yeah.
Who's not making the bench?
Nanase.
Nanase, Tsukishiro, Kiora, Sendo.
Wait, who the hell is Tsukishiro?
Wait, hold on, what? Hold on.
Who's
You're speaking of a different anime right now. I'm dead.
Yeah. Hold on, my brain stopped working. Who did I say? Oh,
You said Nanase and then you said Tsukishiro.
I have no idea. Hold on. Let me restart.
Oh.
Nanase.
So how many miss out? Four players miss out.
I think it will be Nanase, Kiora, Zantetsu, and Sendo.
Wait, is it 4 or wait? So you said 7 on a bench, so 18.
Yeah.
Five players miss out.
And then on the
So I think Nanase for sure. I think Santetsu's gonna have to hold some left back in the changing rooms.
Well, if we okay, well we've got like a starting 11, and then we've got like 7 subs. So if we work that way, who would be the best 7 substitutes? Because for me, with just like my 11 and stuff, my bench would consist of Shido, Bachira, Reo, Kunigami, Yukimiya, and Raichi.
Shido, Bachira, Reo, Yuki, Kunigami, and Raichi.
And then obviously we have to.
So is Kurona starting for you?
No, Otoya starting at right back. And we kind of have to settle with Fukaku as a goalkeeping substitute.
Oh, so you're taking out Kurona, bro. Ooh.
Oh wait, okay. 2 center backs. I have Kunigami and Nico. 2 center mids. That's tough.
Karasu and Hiyori.
We're talking about for subs?
Yeah, for
subs.
Realistically, I have Karasu and Reo. No, not Reo. I actually have Reo starting. Shoot, I'm trying to think. I could put Kiora as a center mid.
Karasu's on your bench. Who you starting?
Don't worry about that. You'll see the video.
Okay.
Yeah, don't force them into spoilers just yet.
Yeah, okay.
I can't say much because I was spoiling my own damn video.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, go
Shido's
on.
definitely a striker on the bench for sure, and I think anyone can know that.
Yeah. Only
Unless
Shido.
Sai comes, but I would be pissed if Sai comes, even though I love him so much.
Yeah, so obviously I think Shido and Barrow bench strikers.
I have to go now, guys. Peace.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
See
Think
ya.
Shido Barrow bench strikers. I think centre mid for me, Rayo's on the bench, and then I
Yeah.
would. Where do I put Kurona? It wouldn't be centre mid, so it'd have to be righty. No.
Yeah. I've got Raichi as backup centre back with Kunigami as a backup CDM. What I've done is that I've kind of got
Okay.
a substitute striker, cam, centre mid. Hold on, 7. Yeah, a backup striker, cam, centre mid, CDM, fullback, centre back, and goalkeeper.
Okay. Emerald
And
Ace
the 9
says
players on the
7 to
bench.
9 players on the bench. We'll just go for 7 for now. Makes it a lot more interesting because of the players that you're missing out. But yes.
Who are you, Raichi, Reo, Kunigami?
So
Oh, for goodness sake, I can't speak. Oh my god. I'm fluffing my lines more than Darwin Núñez at this point. Oh. Fukaku, Aru, Raichi, Reo, Kurona, Shido, Barou. Okay, I did it right.
yeah, so I've got Shido Barrow, I've got Kurona. Although me personally, I start Kurona, but that's just me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
from
because
here I've got Fukaku, Raichi, Reo, and Shido on my bench, with the
yeah,
other ones filling the role being Yukimiya. Oh god, I forgot my name.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's true. So
Yukimiya and Bachira,
for
and
me, it'd be Rayo and Yukimiya there. I think
yeah,
Otoya as well, because I'm starting Kurona. I'm not gonna lie. So
he's to unstamina himself.
yeah, I'd have Otoya there. I need people for the back line though, and
So I've got Kunigami and Raichi as kind of my more
mm,
defensive substitutes, because they can both play CDM and centre back just fine, because it's essentially a free centre back system which I've got going.
yeah,
They both just work. It's like having 2 centre back subs that are also capable of playing a little bit higher up the pitch in case a tactical adaptation is needed. So that's why I've got
yeah.
those 2.
Okay, okay. Just trying to think. Because I'm trying to think if Yuki would start for me. Because I'd have Hiyori on, I'd have Bachira on. No, so Yuki would. Yuki would start actually. He'd be on my starting lineup.
Ooh, Yuki in the starting lineup.
Yeah,
Where would he be?
he would be on my left wing.
I've got Chiguri there for me.
Yeah, I have Chigri left back only because I think Yuki can easily operate more centrally, and Chigri has the whole left flank to himself. And if need be, they could always rotate in that position because Yuki also played left back at some point.
Yeah, but Yukimiya doesn't have too many defensive feats, really.
I mean, he blocked a shot with his head at some point. Whose was it? Barrows.
Next, we're going to have a blind and concussed Yukimiya on the pitch. Let's go.
He blocked the barrel shot with his head. He also blocked another shot with his feet at some point. So he's being clutch at the back.
Nice. A blind Casting triple, you give me
one-legged. Yeah, no, yeah, that. So I would have them there.
To be honest,
so he
Rayo,
blocked Nagi's shot with his head.
Yeah.
Did he not block a barrel shot as well? Or am I bugging?
No clue.
I might be
To
bugging.
be honest, Rayo, he's top 11. I think top 11 will play the first match, and after that there'll be some changes. Is Gagamaru even in the top 11 at the moment? Because if we're going by that, and he isn't,
Yeah,
then
Gagamaru has to.
we're running with no keeper.
Oh,
There'll also
what?
be no Hiyori, no
Wait,
Kurona.
as in valuation, is Gagamaru top 11 in valuation?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay, let me check because I had.
So if we're going by that, then there's no Hiyori or Kurona, two top players that got less.
Yeah, he already wouldn't
less
make it then,
valuation.
and I can't have. Ooh, thank you, Emerald Ace. So he says Gagamaru is ranked 12th, so he wouldn't even be on. So,
yeah, so we're gonna run with. Let's go. We'll run with no keeper.
yeah, and then you'd also have to start Shido,
You'd have two
Rin,
attacking.
Isagi, who else? Bachira, all at the same time. Well, Bachira is not really one, but like you'd have to start those top four, in fact, barou, all at the same time.
Shiguri, Kunigami, Rayo. At least you've got. I think IQ's in the top 10, isn't he? Yeah. And Toya can put in a defensive shift with his ninja stuff.
Yeah. So like Emerald
Just so
Ace,
the value. Sorry, go on.
like Emerald Ace said, it'd be literally all attack, no defense.
See, I can see why it worked at the all attack, no defense, no goalkeeper. If only football was that easy. If it was actually you just chuck everybody on attack
if
and
people on
go.
Twitter would have their way, that's literally what it'd be.
Oh. You need a necessary balance in football. You
Yep.
can't just run a hot all attack. That would be barbaric.
Yep.
We'd be going back to the old style of football where they were playing, I think it was like 1-2-1-2-3-4-5 formations or something like that.
Yeah, they literally had no formations, no set position. It was literally like a free for all.
What it would be like is literally, okay, we've got like one man back. Cool. Everybody go attack. That's literally what football used to be. It's just chuck
Yeah,
the
it
worst
was.
dude at the back and just YOLO it.
It was. That's why it'd be. Yeah, let me see here. I've got Chioma, Chigiri, Rayo, Rensuke, Otoya. IQ's 10th.
Yeah.
And
So you
Aryu's
just
13th. So Aryu wouldn't even be in there. Like
no defenders. Who needs defenders nowadays?
we don't need defenders or goalkeeper. Yeah, like
Hey, can
Vincenzo
you
says,
shoot it from like 50 yards and score because there's no keeper? We got Isagi. He's basically a defender.
Vincenzo said it best. It's BLUELOCK. It's BLUELOCK. Screwed all that other formation stuff.
It's like
We're
no
attack.
tactics, no defense. Just leave it all to Isagi. He's been a defender
Leave
for
it.
the past few
Leave it all
years.
to individual brilliance and talented learners and all that.
And this is why England is such an international failure. Just a bunch. Like our golden generation was just a bunch of individuals.
Yeah, it was. It literally was.
So it shows that just relying on individual ability is just
It's not enough. You need someone
need
to
synergy.
link it all together.
Yeah, that's why one of my favorite managers of all time is Carlo Ancelotti. His ability to just bring loads of egos together and just be like, you think you're the biggest man in the room? You're not. I'm in charge here.
Yeah.
Put your little personal like superiority complex to the side and just shut the fuck up. I'm in charge.
That's why they call him the Don, bro. That's why he's Don Carlo, and he earns that respect as well because as a player, he won the Champions League twice himself.
Mm.
Yeah, he earns that right.
Also, just he knows how to win.
Yeah,
That's why Zidane was a great coach. Like
yeah.
you look at most managers. Okay, not okay. You look at many managers, and a lot of them were very successful players. You've got
Mm-hmm.
like Zinedine Zidane. You've got Pep Guardiola. There's Xabi Alonso.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
okay, that's only like a few examples, but my brain isn't working. Mikel Arteta's one.
Yep.
Inzaghi, he was a great player. Like you've got these players that demanded respect
Yeah,
from both
exactly.
players and managers.
But then you got some that are not quite doing it, like Henri's, Vieira's,
Everybody's built to be a manager.
Lampard's.
Okay, I know maybe a little bit unjustified, but Lampard is an underrated coach.
You reckon?
Not saying he's amazing, but
Where's he at right now? Is he still at Norwich?
he's in the championship somewhere.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like, think back, he came into Chelsea with just a youthful and inexperienced side with a transfer ban,
Yeah, he
and
did really well.
did really well with them. He took them to Champions League football, I'm pretty sure.
Yep, he did.
But I think what it is that he can't handle a dressing room of big players.
Mm-hmm.
Like the transfer ban was lifted, and Abramovich was just like, "Yo, we're like buying really cool players and stuff because I want profits. We need to be successful, so I get money." And then Lampard just wasn't able to handle that. He just couldn't
Which
keep
is
the
fair
dressing
enough
room
for a new coach. Like you can't expect a
Yeah,
new coach to be able to
yeah,
just
yeah.
like only
But then
certain people can do that.
but when he's down like in the championship, like he showed with Derby County, where these egos aren't as big,
Mm-hmm.
or sometimes even like hardly big at all, except for a few exceptions. Lampard does incredibly well. He is a very good, like he was just perfectly built to coach at mediocre clubs and get the best out. Like, okay, not saying he can only coach bad teams. He needs to be in a low league. I just think in a team without ego. Oh God, so
what
oh,
about
who-
at like a Aston Villa or something, a team that's not quite just above mid table in the Premier League? Would he?
just above mid-table.
Yeah.
Aston Villa just above mid-table.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta love that.
Would he not do all right there?
I think Aston Villa's too big for Lampard now
Okay.
at this point. And besides, they're like perfect under Emery at the moment. They're one of the best performing teams in the world in
I
terms of
mean,
like, you know,
this season's been up and down for them, really,
they're,
especially.
well, they're seventh at the moment. They
Yeah.
just draw too many games at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've got 8 draws, which is not terrible, but
It's nowhere near what
only
Arsenal have. Arsenal have way more.
oh ha 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 ha. You
Go.
you are literally second place in a one-horse race.
We're Draw FC, bro. Draw FC.
You've got 11 draws.
Yep.
Aston Villa have 9, which
Yeah.
is literally the same amount as Bournemouth in 10th,
Okay.
and only one more than Ipswich in 18th. So yeah, draw FC. While you, Arsenal, you've got the same amount as Brighton in 9th,
Yep.
and only one more than Crystal Palace in 11th.
Yeah, we've got the most in it, so
Tied most.
yeah, tied most, yeah.
I mean, I can't really talk crap. You're second place. You can't really be mad about that.
Yeah, I mean it's a weird season. I do feel it's been a bit dodgy, some dodginess happening throughout the season, but It is what it is, man. We go again. Champions League, hopefully.
Yeah, you should get Champions League.
I don't know. It's
Like, well, at the moment, you're 5 points ahead of Nottingham Forest in third.
oh no
And
no.
you're
I mean actually win the Champions League this season.
Oh, that big of an ambition. I guess beating Real Madrid does boost the hopes a lot.
Yeah, Emerald Age, you're right. Draws isn't something to brag about, bro. It's almost as bad as a loss, really. A draw.
It gets you a point. Points are what matters.
Yeah,
Like, you
it
look
gets
at
you a point, but bro, like you sometimes it's a false dichotomy because like at times you think, oh yeah, we got a draw, that's good. It's a good result. At least we didn't lose. But then you realize that point doesn't really move the needle that much when everyone else is getting wins.
well, if we look at it, in the relegation zone, we've got Southampton, Leicester City, and Ipswich, who are on 4, 5, and 8 draws respectively, I believe. Yeah. And if you look ahead, you've got Wolves on 5, which is obviously less, and they've got more wins. But you've got West Ham on 8 draws,
Mm-hmm.
and you've got Everton on 14.
Ooh.
So it shows that even they've got like more draws and stuff. Like you've even got Man United on more, you've got Crystal Palace, Bournemouth,
Yeah.
Brighton on more. Fulham and Aston Villa have more. Man City have around the same.
But then when you
Arsenal have around the same amount of draws. Liverpool are around that in draws. Chelsea are as well.
the
Across the table, you've got lots of teams all across the league table that have similar amounts
but the
of
thing is
draws,
draws take away from wins, which
and
means
they
like
add on from losses.
yeah, they're up from losses, but they take away from wins. So like you see how Liverpool now they've just recently lost their second match, and
Yeah,
Arsenal have lost 3 matches in the season. But look at the big gap, the difference in points is still so huge simply because we constantly drawing instead of winning. It's the wins that really gets you where you want to be. Like obviously,
but
like
you're also second place ahead of Nottingham, Chelsea, ahead of everyone else
yeah,
because you've only got 3 losses,
yeah, because we only got 3
which
losses.
means even if you've got loads of draws, they still aren't losses.
Yeah,
The
they're not lost.
accumulated points keep you ahead of the competition.
No, yeah, I hear.
And you can't really be like, oh damn it, we're not getting wins and stuff. Like you, for the team you've got at the moment, you're doing incredible. You haven't
Yeah,
even
I
got
think
like
that's
you
something
haven't got a
people.
proper attack.
Yeah, people don't realize that like with what we're working with, like we're doing pretty well. Like
Yeah,
it's a tough one because I feel like a lot of other teams, if they suffered the injury that we've had to go through this season, I don't think they'd be sitting in second.
yeah. But look, okay, here's a cool stat for you. Arsenal this season have scored 56 goals.
Mm-hmm.
Tottenham Hotspur in 14th have scored 58.
58, yeah, bro. Yeah.
Spurs have scored more goals than you this season,
What's their
yet they
goal
sit
difference though,
14th.
Spurs?
That's what I was getting on to. In terms of goals against, you've actually got the least in the entire league, having only conceded 26 goals.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it shows that even though you haven't got an attack, you're able to rely on like other areas of your team, which is defense, and defense stop you from scoring goals, stop you
hmm
from conceding goals. And if you concede more goals than the other team, you lose. So it shows that your strong defense gives you these draws instead of these losses,
yeah,
and that's what's put you so high in the table when you don't have the attack necessary to give you the horsepower to win. So under your circumstances, getting lots of draws is just a testament to show how very well coordinated your defense has been, even if you don't have a consistent attacking output to go out and get those wins.
yeah,
So what I think is that if you can get your attack in order and keep your defense together, I could see you really pushing for a title win next
yeah.
season. Like
Same.
you're we're 31 matches in, and you're 11 points behind. At this point, you're not going to win the league.
No.
But I think next year it could be a real push if you can get your attack together and keep your defense in the game.
Yeah, I feel the same. Vincenzo asks, who will win the Champions League?
I was going to say Real Madrid. I even did the Lucas Vasquez SBC on FIFA, hoping Real Madrid would win the final and I'd have a super right back. And now they're 3-0 behind.
Yeah, so it's a tough one because we have to go to the Bernabeu now. So Real Madrid still got a good chance. If we can put 3 past them, they can do the same to us. You know.
Yeah.
So they have another 90 minutes to have a goal. They've got great attacking options, and obviously they're gonna come up with a game plan.
Yeah.
It's gonna be super tough. We're gonna see the thing is the position that we're in is an awkward one because you don't want to go there and just defend the whole match, but at the same time you don't want to attack and risk conceding. So it's an awkward position to be in, but it's a great position at the same time because we're ahead right now in the tie.
Yeah, that is very integral because, as I said before, your defense is the best in England at the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
So in these knockout games where you've put yourself multiple goals ahead, your defense is going to be the most important part for you to rely on in order to get past Real at the Bernabeu, and you've got an incredible defense.
Yeah,
based on that, I think you've got a good chance of going through as long as Arsenal don't get complacent with being 3 goals ahead and don't get overwhelmed by the Bernabeu's environment and give silly mistakes.
But now,
if those two variables are controlled, I think Arsenal are going through.
Yeah, same. But now, once we get through, right? Let me just look at the table,
Bracket.
the not the table, the draw.
Bracket.
Yeah. Once we go through, we have to play between. Where is it? Why is it not showing me? One sec.
Yeah, don't worry.
I'm just trying to get it up now. It's showing me the league phase. Show me the knockouts. Cool. So it'll be between Paris or Villa. I don't want to face Villa if I'm to be honest. They'll have a good game plan against us.
And Emery is incredible in knockout football. I mean, he managed Sevilla and made them the best Europa League team probably in history.
Yep. And then go on. Sorry.
He's a very similar, not tactically, but like in terms of performance, he is a very similar type of manager to Mourinho. Just incredible in knockout tournaments. And also PSG might be kicked out of the Champions League due to breaking regulations. So
really,
who knows?
Really, what they do? What did they do?
Basically, what happens is that in the Champions League, you obviously announce a squad. Like, this is going to be our Champions League squad, blah, 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 blah. During the January transfer window, you can add a set number of new signings into your Champions League squad. But what happened is that PSG exceeded this from other transfers. And this means that their maximum had been reached, so they couldn't field any new players apart from those that they'd already brought in. I don't know who they are specifically. But what happens is that they didn't announce Kavica Kvaratskhelia as part of their Champions League squad, and then they fielded him against Liverpool,
Oh,
which breaks this regulation, which means if UEFA decide to push this rule against PSG, they may be kicked out.
kick him out. Kick him out. But yeah, so we'd have to get through those guys to get into the finals. And on the other end, I think it's gonna be Barcelona or Inter.
I think it would be Barcelona.
Yeah, I think
They are
most
looking
likely it'll be
incredible.
Barcelona. And then it's Barcelona versus Arsenal. That's gonna be the second time
Oh,
we face
history
them
repeating
in the
itself.
Champions League final.
History repeating itself.
Time for revenge. No, it's time for revenge. It's got to change. Like, you know how they always say, like, you've got to lose a final, a Champions League final before you win one. We've done our loss already, especially to Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Yeah,
1-0. Wasn't it like
and
a 1-0 game or something?
it was why do I feel like it was yeah, it was 1-0. We was winning, and then Van Persie gets sent off, and we end up losing the game.
Damn, you're going to be beating Barcelona, and then I don't know, Bukayo Saka gets sent off, and then just end up losing with like a Lamine Yamal second half masterclass.
Yep. But nah, I'm hoping this time, we get over the line. Oh, it'll be so incredible just to lift that Champions League trophy, man. I would love it. But yeah, I think we end it here. I think most people have already gone to bed.
Yeah, 12. This isn't even a Blue Lock discussion anymore.
No, yeah, we turned it into a IRL discussion, but
yeah,
it was good, man. It was
your
good.
team Arsenal.
It was good, man. Dedu, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, anytime, bro. I'm glad you got your setup sorted. It's always a struggle.
It's always me.
Not just you. There's also Leo often struggles as well, but
yeah, but is a mic issue, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mine's just I can't hear anything. I've tried every single setting combination, whether it's like speakerphone, I've put it in my headphones, I've put them through my Bluetooth earphones, I've had it on just default, I've switched between all four.
Emerald, hey, see you, bro. See you.
Works.
Yeah, man. I don't know what it was, man.
I just have to stick with using my laptop from here on out.
Okay. Yeah, no. But yeah, you sound good on the laptop. And it's working. But yeah, man, thanks for joining me, guys.
Thanks for having me.
The guys that are left, thanks for joining us. Thanks for the questions and everything. And yeah, we'll see you again next week. And we'll talk some new chapter stuff. I think most people will be trying to do some videos on the new Nagi stuff as well.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try and get some stuff out. I've been working on 2 different videos. One a chapter review, which is long overdue, and then one is my other video. But yeah, they're gonna come out this week. Promise.
Imagine working on videos on your channel. I've only done like 3 in the past half a month.
Yeah, see you, Emerald Days, man. See you. Thanks for joining us again. And see you all next time. Goodbye.
Yeah.
God bless.
Yeah.